Yeah, that'll unmute it, but I think
Good afternoon and welcome to John Session Stadium for the series finale between Jacksonville and Wofford. The Dolphins have already won the series. Today they look to sweep the Wofford Terriers coming up from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Andrew Gibson alongside Scott Manzi. And the Dolphins, after starting the season, Scott 0-8, they've won 2 in a row. And that's called a little bit of a winning streak now for Jacksonville.
Well, that's 2 in a row. One more would be a winning streak. And this Jacksonville team, I mean, sometimes it's as simple as you hit, you score runs, you pitch, and you play defense. This Jacksonville team managed just 19 runs in their first 8 games of the season. They've scored 16 in the last 2, both of those wins. That's not a coincidence. And it's a sign of things that are all starting to roll well for this group collectively. And now looking to finish things off strong here today and make a statement with a sweep of a very quality Wofford team here at home.
Mason Adams will make his first start for Jacksonville, the right-hander on the mound today. The defensive lineman behind him, Tommy Joseph in left. Ruben Samayan will be in center, Blake Delamalure in right. Jackson Grabsky, we went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles last night. He will play third. Dakota Jalila at short. Jesus Pacheco at second. Christian Coypel at first. And Corey Heffron will do the catching today for Jacksonville. And also Trace Burchard will be the DH. Here to start things off for the Wofford Terriers, Nolan Hester, the right fielder.
First pitch in at 1-0-1, a strike at the knees, and we're underway.
A cool, crisp afternoon here in Jacksonville just after 1 o'clock. Second pitch is fouled straight back by Nolan Hester.
Much nicer day for baseball today than yesterday, Andrew.
Yep, 57 degrees currently. And yeah, yesterday, there have been some days like that around Jacksonville. We've seen plenty of rain and some cooler temperatures, but today in the high 50s. Here's the 0-2 is now 1-2 now. Against Hester, it'll be Hester, Lawson Hill, and Colin Davis to start things off in the top half of the first for the Wofford Terriers, who are 7-4 after dropping 2 in a row against Jacksonville in this series. This one a high pitch, and let's see.
Appeal to third, he went around.
He did. So there's a strikeout to start things off for Mason Adams. A good start for him on the mound.
Really nice start for Mason Adams, making his first career start in a Dolphin uniform today. 4th appearance of the season, just logged his 9th K of the year. He has thrown 9 1/3 innings to this point, allowing 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents hitting .233 off of him coming in to today's game, and he's a guy who projects as a starter. Coach Edwards, the pitching coach for Jacksonville, really likes his coachability and toughness on the mound. He wants to get better. He wants to improve as a player, as a pitcher.
One down here in the top of the first. First pitch is a strike to Lawson Hill, who has the highest batting average so far this season for the Terriers, hitting .405 as a senior, slugging .595. And with 8 doubles, next pitch out of the zone. It's 1-1 from Mason Adams to Lawson Hill.
Not surprisingly, Andrew, you lose your first 2 games of a series, some changes in the order. Hill stays in the 2 spot, but Hester new to the leadoff spot here today.
Here's a ground ball, third base side, playable for Jacksonville's Grabsky, and he fires over a seed to first to Christian Coypel, and there are 2 down here in the top of the first.
Center fielder number 2, Colin Davis.
Good start for Mason Adams. He's gotten ahead of hitters, filling up the zone, which is what they want him to do, and because of that, he's been able to get 2 pretty easy outs here to start things off.
Here's the third place hitter, Colin Davis, the center fielder, also a senior. Seniors batting second and third today in the order for Wofford. The Wofford Terriers. Here's a strike, a good pitch this time from Adams. Wofford, a team out of the Southern Conference. A pretty good baseball program, certainly the last couple of years. Their coach, Todd Interdonato, in his 14th season as their head coach. Last year, Wofford 14-3 before the season was cut
Fans,
short.
as a reminder, per
And
our
what was their
protocols, we
final
ask that you
game?
not
Wofford beat
retrieve any
Auburn.
game
The
balls
Tigers
that
were
leave the playing
14th in the
field
country last year at that point in time when Wofford beat them 4-3 last year. So through 17 last year, 14-3, and trying to come off of that season. And they've dropped 2 in a row here against Jacksonville. This pitch high and outside from Adams.
Davis this weekend, pair of hits, one in each game, as he has also moved up in the order. A spot hit cleanup the last 2 days.
This one down and outside, low in the zone. And the count 2-2 now.
Davis was removed from yesterday's game late, pinch hit for, actually replaced defensively by Ryan Gardino.
This one skied to right field, going to have to hustle to come over and get this one. It's going to be in foul ground, but a nice dive by Blake Lamalure in right. Could not get a glove on it, but it's foul.
Lamalure, man, he sold out, no doubt about it. He went a great athlete out in right field, can, kind of trying to find a specific spot for him defensively. He's worked in the infield and the outfield and covered a lot of ground there. He laid out. He wasn't really all that close, but I appreciate the effort.
Yep, DeLambalure out of the Jacksonville area, Bartram Trail. So it remains now a 2-2 count against Davis. No score here in the top half of the first. Jacksonville looking to finish off what would be a sweep if they get a win today. Wofford. Here's the 2-2. This one looked pretty close. I guess, Scott, it missed the outside.
Yeah, maybe a little bit low there as well as it ran down and away from the right-handed swinging Davis. Good eye by the center fielder for Wofford, and first full count of the afternoon.
2 outs in the top half. Here's the 3-2 from Davis. Swung on and just got a bat on it. Fouled back first base side.
This continues the theme. Very rarely have we seen uncompetitive at-bats from these Wofford hitters, despite the fact that they haven't scored many runs this week. They've gotten hits. They've made Jacksonville pitching work. It's just that Jacksonville pitching and defense has just been better.
Here's the 3-2. This one high, and that'll be ball 4.
Really nice at-bat there from Davis. He fell behind, worked his way back, evened up the count, fouled off a few pitches. Ended up seeing 8 in total in that at-bat before drawing the walk.
So the inning extended for Wofford after a 3-2 count. Almost could have been strike 3 on a potential strike a moment ago, but a walk is induced here for Wofford, and now John Dempsey, the first baseman, will come to the plate.
Dempsey just 1 hit in 8 at-bats here this weekend. He has struggled a bit here in the early part of this year.
Dempsey, a left-hander, first pitch swung on. Nice fielding play, and it's a terrific play by the second baseman, Jesus Pacheco, coming over to make the play. A force out at second base, an underhand to the covering Dakota Jalila, and that will do it for the top half of the first, as Jacksonville and Wofford are scoreless, going now to the bottom half from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Duncan Dolphin on Twitter. Duncan Kids Clubs, join today.
The first inning here in Jacksonville, a beautiful Sunday afternoon, high 50s, and sun splashed on a Sunday here. Andrew Gibson and Scott Manzi with you here on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Jacksonville looking to complete a sweep of the Wofford Terriers today, and they will see Elliott Carney on the mound today, the starting nine for Jacksonville. Ruben Samayan, Corey Heffron, Tommy Joseph will be the 1, 2, 3 hitters. Trace Bouchard, followed by Christian Coypel, Dakota Jalila, Blake DeLamalure, Jackson Grabsky, and Jesus Pacheco. Mason Adams doing the pitching. Got through a scoreless top half of the first. What did you see there from Mason?
Well, he started things off well. It's so helpful as a pitcher when you can get a couple of outs to start an inning, and then he two-out walk, way less harmful than a leadoff walk, and gets the ground ball. Excellent play by Jesus Pacheco. He and Dakota Jalila, kindred spirits up the middle, and they have really started to find a rhythm together. A redshirt senior, a veteran, and a true freshman. And Pacheco and Jalila combining for that force out at second to end the inning. So we'll see if the Jacksonville offense, which was so opportunistic in the first inning yesterday, can do so again here today.
Here is Ruben Samayan to lead things off for Jacksonville, the senior playing center field defensively, where he's a mainstay here for the Dolphins defensively. He's got 2 hits in the series so far against Wofford, 2 for 9 so far.
You say a mainstay. 200th career start for Ruben today.
Wow. There's a strike called on the inside inner half from Elliott Carney, the right-hander, 1-1 this year with a 4.0 ERA. The right-hander delivers the 1-1. This one swung on, lifted to center field. Coming over to make the play in center is Colin Davis for out number 1. Samayan a fly out to center, and now we'll see the Jacksonville catcher, Corey Heffron.
Catcher number 18,
Carney,
Corey
the starter for
Heffron.
Wofford, one of a couple of veterans that we have seen here throughout the course of this weekend, another senior, and stands at 6'3", 205 pounds from Sammamish, Washington. Transferred in after starting his career at the junior college level, and he's been a little snake bit himself as far as injuries are concerned. Was banged up a little bit last year, missed all of 2019 due to an injury. Started his career at Edmond Community College. And speaking of injuries, wristband. He's got a wristband that he's got to take off on that right wrist.
Yeah, I thought the same as you for a moment that we had potential injury. But
He's grabbing his wrist, but
yeah.
grabbing the item on his wrist.
Here's Corey Heffron still looking for his first hit in the series. He's 0 for 7 in the 2 games. Here's the first pitch. He shows bunt, and it's called strike.
Heffron doesn't have a hit yet, but he has still been productive for Jacksonville, which is why he has stayed in this 2-hole. The numbers, raw numbers, wouldn't indicate a guy that should be hitting where he is hitting.
This one low and inside from Carney.
He's drawn a pair of walks, been hit by a pitch driven into in the course of this series as well. So it's not like he is not putting together solid at-bats.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, a check swing and a called strike. Heffron looking back to the home plate umpire. Say, I don't know about that one.
Nobody thinks they know the zone better than a catcher, and Corey Heffron asking Landon Davis where maybe that one was.
Landon Davis, as you mentioned, the home plate umpire today. Swing and a miss, and Corey Heffron down on strikes. And he gives another look back to Landon Davis, the home plate umpire. Terrell Poole is the first base umpire. Randy Olhausen is the second base umpire today.
Terrell actually over to third. They've been dancing around on us this week. He worked the plate last night and slides over to third base today.
First pitch swung on, fouled back for Tommy Joseph. Tommy Joseph's been playing well for Jacksonville.
Yeah, he's starting to figure it out, the switch hitter, the junior college transfer. He takes one outside there. He switches around, hits left-handed here against the right-hander Carney. But he had a big Friday night with 3 RBI. And then last night goes 1 for 4 as well.
Swung on, and this one down in the dirt a little bit, but he swung through it. It's now 1-2 quickly on Tommy Joseph.
Looks a little like yellow.
Joseph 2 for 4, as you mentioned, with 3 RBIs on Friday.
Before he started juicing.
1 for 4 yesterday as he looks at a 1-2. And this one, the pitcher thought that was strike 3. Carney was a few steps toward the Wofford dugout after that pitch was delivered.
More than a few. He was about halfway there.
It was definitely a pitch that looked borderline, and it was called ball 2. And now it's a 2-2 count from Carney. Here's the pitch. This one gets away from the catcher momentarily. And now Tommy Joseph has run the count full, 3-2. No score here in the bottom half of the first inning. Jacksonville at the plate, 2 down, 3-2 pitch coming from Carney. Here it is. This one they called strike 3, a fastball in the inner half of the plate. It'll be strike 3, and Tommy Joseph goes down on strikes. A pretty good-looking inning from Elliott Carney. Scoreless in the bottom half as we go now to the second from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Jacksonville Athletics.
We head down to the second inning here in Jacksonville. Andrew Gibson, Scott Manzi with you. The Dolphins and the Terriers battle in the series finale here on this Sunday afternoon. No score as we head to the second. And was there a little bit of discussion between the umpires during that between innings there, Scott?
Yeah, trying to figure out exactly what the hullabaloo is about, but apparently maybe some words exchanged between respective sides, and the umps came together for an extended conversation amongst themselves near the plate at the conclusion of that last inning. So keep our eye out and see if anything escalates over the course of the afternoon today. These two teams have gotten along very well throughout the course of the week.
First pitch is a strike to start the second for Mason Adams. His opponent in the batter's box, Jack Renwick, the second baseman for Wofford. Here's the pitch. That one looked pretty close and not called. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, I guess just a little bit low and outside. The count 1-1. And this one low and inside.
Adams works pretty quick, but you can tell sometimes if maybe that pitch isn't so great, he'll take a little extra time in between, just readjust a few things.
This one swung on, third base side. Fielded ground ball, and it's a out thrown over to first base. Nice play in the field by Jackson Grabsky for out number 1.
Tough in-between hop there for Grabsky that took a big first hop, and then he had kind of a choice to and had to make it quickly, whether he's going to go in or wait, and ends up kind of doing a little bit of both and did the little swipe with the glove and end up picking it nicely off that low second hop.
One away here in the top half of the second for Zeb Rose, the left fielder. First pitch is a called strike for a fastball. Jacksonville has found the bats a little bit in this series. An 8-2 win on Friday, 8-1 win on Saturday. As you mentioned, 16 runs scored in these two games.
That one tough there on the breaking ball that Heffron could not hang on to. That might have been a strike if he had fielded that one cleanly.
Yeah, if he catches that one, it looks like probably a strike. Here's the 1-1. Another. Wow, that one looked pretty close to a strike.
Maybe a little high when it crossed the plate, but tell you what, Mason Adams, he's everywhere around the zone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not missing by much on a lot of these pitches that have been called balls.
It's been a tight strike zone to begin this game so far.
Except on the other side.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, and he just got a piece of it and fouled it straight back.
Jacksonville hitters were taking pitches. They were all called strikes. Wofford pitchers taking pitches, and they've all been balls.
Rose hitting .333 coming into today's action.
Only one hit this weekend in 8 at-bats, though.
And his average has definitely dipped.
As many of these Wofford Terriers have seen a dip this weekend.
There's the 2-2. Swung on. A weakly hit ground ball.
He fouled it off his foot.
Did foul it off his foot. That interesting. Sometimes when you foul it off the body, it doesn't go very much anywhere. But that one hit ground ball at a third.
Yeah, he
off of his foot.
He's probably feeling that one, I would imagine. Doesn't have any sort of a shin guard or protection down like you see a lot of the guys in the majors wear. Right off the instep.
Coming with the 2-2. He's got a strikeout. A strikeout looking. He thought about checking his swing a little bit, but it's a called strike 3.
Designated hitter number
Mason
6,
Adams is really
Brennan
working that slider with good effectiveness here in the early part of this ball game. And I think he's doing a nice job of mixing up his pitches here in the early going, too. Last night we saw Mike Casale come out, and he basically just fired straight fastballs for the first time through the order. It was a tough, wet night, and might have had something to do with it, but Adams on a brisk day here, using the full arsenal early as he locates a strike to start to Brandon Dorighi.
Dorighi, the DH today, hitting in the 7-hole for Coach Interdonato.
First appearance of the weekend for Dorighi.
His last appearance against UNC Asheville on March the 2nd went 1 for 5 with an RBI.
6 for 17 on the year, though. Very respectable. 353 average. May have had a bit of an injury or something that limited him this weekend.
There's a called strike on the inner half. It's strike 3, and back-to-back strikeouts from Mason Adams. Get Jacksonville out of the top half of the second. It's a no-score game so far. Heading to the bottom half of the second here at John Sessions Stadium. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
And sports performance. For more information about Shinatri,
Bottom half of the second here in Jacksonville on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Andrew Gibson with Scott Menzie. No score right now between the Jacksonville Dolphins and the Wofford Terriers coming from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Jacksonville looking, there's a couple of firsts here this weekend for Jacksonville. Of course, the first win, the first series win, the first series sweep potentially for Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, Scott, beginning to, I think, find itself potentially. We hope so.
Yeah, no doubt. It has been a much better week of baseball, a weekend in which we've seen this team play just the brand of baseball that we've gotten used to over the years under the leadership of head coach Chris Hayes, as Burchard takes a strike at the letters to start things off.
It'll be Burchard, Christian Coypel, and Dakota Jalila due up this inning for Jacksonville against Elliott Carney, who continues to work. Swung on, lifted to center field, coming over a few steps in to make the play, Colin Davis. Jacksonville's hit the ball hard a few times. It's just been right at somebody.
Yeah, and for those that may look at Trace Burchard and say, why is he hitting cleanup today? A freshman hitting 143 in just his fourth start of the season. He's put some good swings on the baseball this weekend. It's just been a little unlucky in where he has hit them, but he's not sitting up there striking out every time. I mean, I think they're starting to see a little bit of something with him, and a few more swings like that, and he may end up like his freshman counterparts and start picking up some hits.
Here is the left-handed hitting first baseman, Christian Coypel. Looks at a ball inside on the first pitch from Carney.
Coypel back in the starting lineup after not starting the last several games for Jacksonville.
And this one low and inside, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. The redshirt junior from Miami, Florida. 6'3", 215. Left-hander waits on the 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted high and deep in the air, but this one is going to drift. Let's see if it is foul, but it's going to drop into the bullpen.
That one was high, high, high. They say that would have brought rain if there had been a cloud in the sky, but we've had enough of that this week already.
And Nolan Hester was trying to give that one some chase to see if it would drift back fair with his sunglasses gleaming in right field.
Breezy day today. A little breezier and low than it is high.
Here's the 2-1 to Coypel. Swung on and fouled this one straight back. No runs for either team so far in this game. We've got zeros across the board here in the bottom half of the second. Been some good defense so far. Jacksonville's Jesus Pacheco made a terrific play to rob a hit in the first. Here's the pitch. This one framed up a little bit, but called a ball outside.
Yeah, that was outside the whole way, and the catcher Hill tried to do a little bit to help out his pitcher Carney in bringing that one back, the old wrist turn.
Oh, yeah.
But wasn't fooling Landon Davis there. Good eye by Coypel.
Coypel looks at a 3-2. Here it is. Swung on this one, fouled straight back to the netting behind home plate.
Seen Carney throw a lot of fastballs. Gone to the changeup away from the lefties. Sort of an out pitch there for him. Tried to use the 2 pitches ago.
He will wind on a 3-2 again. This one high and outside. Ball 4. Coypel draws a walk.
That's a really good at-bat for Leppy, who big time opportunity for him back in the starting lineup. Didn't start the midweeker, didn't start last Sunday or either of the previous 2 games in this series. You know, he's trying to prove that he should be starting at first base again. And I know the coaching staff wants him to be the guy starting at first base. He's got so much power, so much ability at the plate, a great left-handed hitter.
Dakota Jalila at the plate now with a runner at first. Swung on. This one lifted high into left. Coming over with his eyes toward the sun, Zeb Rose to make the catch, and there are 2 away.
Jalila just got a little underneath that one. He's a guy who likes to be aggressive early in counts. pitch a little bit up there and wasn't able to really get the barrel to it. And now we'll see Blake DeLamore for the first time this weekend.
DeLamore, the freshman from the Jacksonville area, Bartram Trail High School, hitting 300 on the nose. From the stretch, here's the pitch. This one a called strike on the outside corner from Carney, and he's really not had to work much at all with base runners on. There's nobody that's recorded a hit, but this one with Coy Pell at first drew a walk moments ago. Working from the stretch with 2 down. Here's the pitch from Carney. Swung through that one. A fire back to first. They've got him in a rundown. Coy Pell, now the throw down there, and he's going to get him. And that'll be out number 3 on the base pass for Jackson. Opportunity as Coy Pell is brought down on to the tag from second, and that will end the inning for Jacksonville. Unfortunate there, Scott, as they could have caught the rundown.
Yeah, Jacksonville has been playing with a fire a little bit on the big secondary leads throughout the course of the weekend, and it finally comes back to burn.
We head now to the 3rd inning. No score between Jacksonville and Wofford. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Heading out to the 3rd inning here in Jacksonville. No hits, no runs, no errors, nothing on the board right now for either team between Jacksonville and Wofford. Andrew Gibson with you alongside Scott Manzi. And Scott, let's go back to the tail end of that last inning for Jacksonville. Dolphins picked off on the base pass there.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to be some sort of a play with the ball put in play, a high pitch, and DeLamore couldn't catch up to it, even get just a piece of the bat on it to foul it off. And with Coy Pell starting his break and then looking back in to see where it was, all of a sudden he realized he was caught in no man's land. Almost managed to get into second.
And this one, a first pitch swinging ground ball to second base. Pacheco coming over to make the play. And there's out number 1 on the first pitch from Ryan Galaney. First pitch to him is a ground ball out to second base.
Shortstop number 1.
Yeah, it looked like a missed opportunity. Almost looked like a hit and run situation for Jacksonville, but picked off the base pass and nothing doing for Jacksonville the last half inning.
And neither team has managed to get a runner in scoring position yet.
First pitch swung on to Matty Brown. And he fouls this one third base side.
Switch hitting shortstop, swinging it left-handed here against the right-hander Adams.
Couple switch hitters in this game. That's impressive.
Don't see it much anymore.
No, you don't. It's tough. There's a big swinging strike, a good pitch right there for Jacksonville. As we've seen some breaking stuff and some sliders from Mason Adams today. A couple strikeouts to his credit so far today. Here's the 0-2. This one inside. Nearly clipped the jersey, but now it's a 1-2.
If you're pitching coach Jerry Edwards, you got to feel pretty good when you see all your starters this weekend kind of having command of 3 pitches.
Swung on, ground ball. Coy Pell going to try to come over and get this one with Adams covering, out number 2.
This this group looks like they've kind of settled in.
Yeah.
In the fact that
number 30, Nolan Hester.
that opening weekend, like that play may not have happened. Like there were routine plays were far from routine, but guys are fielding their position. Things are just normal baseball. Things look normal right now, and unfortunately, you have to take a couple of beatings there early in order to settle in. But hey, long baseball season. You don't win any championships in February.
First pitch, a strike by Adams to Nolan Hester, who struck out his first time. 0 for 1. Now back to the top of the order for Wofford. It'll be Hester, Hill, and Davis. And Heffron tried to frame that one for Adams.
It looked like Adams went to the changeup on the outside edge there and just missed away.
No hits so far against Adams. Here's the pitch. Swung on this one, a high hopper, a Sunday hop, if you will, to third. And trying to scoop it out is Coy Pell, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacksonville. Nice play made by Grabsky at third. And we will head to the bottom half of the third. No score between Jacksonville and Wofford here in Jacksonville.
First pitch is set for 7 o'clock right here at John Sessions Stadium.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Jacksonville, Florida. We head now to the bottom half of the third. No score between Jacksonville and Wofford in the series finale. Jacksonville has taken both of the first 2 games, and they've already clinched the series, looking for a Sunday sweep this afternoon against Wofford. Andrew Gibson alongside Scott Manzi. No score, no hits so far for either team, Scott.
Yeah, it's been an efficient pitching performance so far for both sides. Mason Adams mixing in strikeouts with a lot of groundouts here as he has worked the bottom of the zone. Strikeouts and a handful of flyouts on the other side for Elliott Carney. So you got a ground ball pitcher, a fly ball pitcher, and both of them pitching well here to start.
According to our stats, Carney's only thrown 25 pitches so far. I mean, you talk about efficiency, that's pretty good to get into the third inning, only throwing 25 pitches. Here's his 26th to start the third. It's a strike to Blake DeLamalure, who's going back to the dish after Coy Pell was picked off the last half inning, going from first to second. Here's the 0-1. It's called a strike, a breaking ball this time from Carney. Now it's 0-2.
It looks like we've seen fastball, we've seen a curveball, change up the lefty from Carney. He's mixed up his pitches really well.
The 0-2 to DeLamalure. Here's a ground ball. Shortstop will come over to try to make a good play, and he's going to be off the bag and safe.
DeLamalure with great speed, and it was on display there. I mean, he got out of the box in a hurry. Matty Brown has made some difficult plays look easy at short. I thought he was going to make that off the bat, and DeLamalure's speed is what beat that out for a single.
Yeah, Matty Brown got to that ball pretty quickly, but as you mentioned, the speed of DeLamalure down the line, able to get him there.
Here comes one of the hottest men in the greater Jacksonville area, at the very least. Swinging the bat, Jackson Grabsky, a 4-for-4 night last night. First off to collect more than 2 hits in a game this season, and he gets 4 pair of doubles.
And that's the first hit of the game for Jacksonville, for a hit for either team. The infield single, they'll give it to him.
Isn't that how it usually goes, right?
Yeah.
First hit of the game, and it ends up a ball that doesn't even, go 70 feet.
It doesn't clear the infield. Grabski with an opportunity with a runner at first and no outs. Here's the pitch, a high breaking ball. This one started high and then dropped down around the belt buckle.
Grabski, that was a knee buckler.
Yes.
To him, he was limboing out of the way of a pitch he thought was coming in for him, and that had a ton of movement and almost went back into the zone.
Grabski out of Orlando, Florida. Went to Haggerty, one of the good baseball programs down in Orlando. Freshman, 6'3", 180.
Really liked what I've seen so far out of him. He's started every game at third base. Not an easy position to come in and take over as a true freshman, especially losing most of his senior year of high school baseball.
Right. Here's the pitch. This one swung on, lifted to left. Left fielder's going to have to race over to make a play. And let's see if he caught it. I think it just drifted off of his glove, but it was a heck of an effort over there by Zeb Rose, and he did not make the play, but boy, Zeb Rose had to cover some ground on that play.
Yeah, he did. Went into the slide, had it at his glove, and just couldn't quite squeeze it. Kind of squeezed it right out of his glove as he went into his slide. But yeah, excellent effort by Rose, just try and steal an out from the Dolphins here, who have put the leadoff man on. That was a good omen for Jacksonville last night, getting the leadoff man on and in to score.
Here's the 1-1. And their pickoff throw to first. Rose lost his hat right as soon as he went into that sprint into the left field corner.
He just put it back on.
That's right. This is, I heard Coach Interdonato just talking about the kind of guys that Wofford recruits. There's a throw down to second, and he's going to get there safely. A stolen base for Jacksonville.
Hill wasn't able to get everything on that throw. It was a breaking ball in, and he knew he had to rush it. He just saw the speed of Delamler, who got a good break on that as well, and kind of just short-armed one trying to get it there, and that it pulled the second baseman, Renwick, in closer to the grass to field it. No chance to get Delamler at second base.
Second stolen base of the year for Delamler. And now Jacksonville really in business with a runner at second. And their most dangerous hitter to this point, at least the hottest hitter, is at the dish right now.
Jacksonville has almost beat Wofford a little bit at their own game this weekend when it comes to running.
Yep.
Wofford, known as one of the best base running teams in the country. They steal oodles of bases every year. And Jacksonville has turned that into runs this weekend.
There's a called strike inside. Now, Wofford has reached 100 or more stolen bases in 7 straight seasons. They led the nation in stolen bags in 2014 and 2015. It's really been an emphasis for Coach Todd Interdonato since really the summer of 2012 is when they really made that effort to try to say, we got to see what we can do on the base pass, and they've been terrific at it ever since. Delamler gets a pretty good lead out at second. Now they're going to call time for a second. The 2-2 now to Jackson Grabski as he awaits the pitch from Carney. Runner at second, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and swung through. It's a strikeout for Grabski.
Goodness gracious, that breaking ball is just
Second
filthy.
baseman number 22.
Grabski could have swung
Jesus
twice
Pacheco.
by the time that ball came in. He was fooled very, very badly on that one. A really nice pitch by Carney.
Inside breaking ball, and as you mentioned, it was one of those where he knew when he swung that he was just not going to get close to that one. Very, very much fooled on that pitch.
Still plenty of opportunity here for Jacksonville with just one out and still a man in scoring position.
Delamler, the man in scoring position at second. There's a big breaker again for a strike. He's not even just getting the swinging strikes, but he's also placing those breaking balls for strikes.
Well, and this is a senior toying a little bit with a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for fastballs, hoping they get something in handle, and they're not getting anything close to that right now.
Here is the 0-1 to Jesus Pacheco. He fouls this one back. Pacheco, the 9-hole hitter today for Jacksonville. Ruben Samayan on deck.
That was kind of the chance to execute the play right there. Actually got a fastball, but Pacheco that head down. He was a little bit late trying to sneak that bunt down, and because of that, he didn't quite have the positioning to get the bat head onto that baseball cleanly.
There's the look back to second. Delamalure back safely. Pacheco 2 for 3 on Friday night for Jacksonville, 0 for 2 yesterday. Another freshman out of Weston, Florida, Cypress Bay High School.
Did have a sacrifice bunt last night.
Yep. Swung on this one, hit well into the left field corner. Let's see if it stays fair. And it's going to be foul into the left field corner. That one, if it had just hooked a little bit, it might have gone out.
Pacheco, we saw Ruben Samayan on Wednesday get a pitch in and handle all of it. Pacheco, that's the farthest we've seen him hit a baseball so far in his young Jacksonville career, as he just turned on that pitch in the inner half and turned a little too early.
If there was a little bit more loft on that swing, that one might have hooked out and out of the park on the 340 mark down in left field, the left field corner. Might have curved around that foul pole in left field.
Should have started waving it.
Here's the 0-2 from the stretch. This one also foul, third base side. Pacheco, a pretty good fight at the plate right now.
Yeah, I've been impressed in the last couple of pitches he's seen after falling behind. I mean, he just got the bender again there and was able to spoil it at the very least. Like that's what you're looking to do. Start getting Carney to where he is. You know, they're starting to overthink maybe a little bit of what they're trying to throw Pacheco here because they know it's not going to be easy.
The 0-2 from Carney looks back to second. Delamalure not trying to steal third. He's just standing there getting his lead, but Carney's going to look him back to second.
And this is where Jacksonville has really tried to use that to their advantage this weekend too. Get in the pitcher's head, start making him start thinking about things other than the man at the plate. Make a mistake.
From the stretch, the 0-2 swung through and missed it. It's another breaking pitch for a strikeout. It's back-to-back strikeouts, and Mr. Carney's got the breaker working very effectively.
Well, it is just it's a
Number
pitch
4,
that
Ruben
even if you make contact with it, you're not
Samayan.
going to be able to do anything with it because it's way in on the hands of these right-handers. And now with the lefty up and Ruben Samayan, we'll see. Maybe if that's a pitch that he can handle a little bit better, or if he sees it in the same location or not. But Jacksonville try not to waste their first scoring opportunity of the day.
There are 2 outs now. Delamalure got a infield single, the only hit of the day so far for either team, and stole second base, and that's where we stand right now. Jacksonville just trying to see if they can get him home. A good place to do it here, top of the lineup. Here's the first pitch to Samayan. He swings through this one. If you're Jacksonville, you got a runner at second and the top of the lineup up. This is a big opportunity with 2 outs.
The last 2 starters for Wofford were predominantly fastball guys, and Jacksonville got a ton of hits off of them, and we have not seen a ton of fastballs here today.
The 0-1 to Samayan. This one looked like a fastball. Let's see if it gets down in the gap. It'll get down. It'll be an RBI, potentially a double for Jacksonville. A run scores. Blake Delamalure comes around third, and it's an RBI double for Ruben Samayan, and Jacksonville leads 1-0. An RBI double in the right center field gap drives home Blake Delamalure, and Jacksonville strikes first here on this Sunday afternoon, 1-0.
Ruben Samayan got a fastball right after I said it and handled it. His second double of the year, drives in his 4th run of the year, and that's it. This is a lineup this weekend that has, when opportunities have presented themselves, have seized them. Another example of it there.
Well, we'd seen so many breaking pitches, we wondered when we would see the fastball, and Samayan got the inside fastball and turned on it for an RBI double in the right center field gap, and Jacksonville has scored first.
Scored first in all 3 games this weekend now.
Here is Corey Heffron, the senior catcher, in the 2-hole today for Coach Hayes.
The other thing that I like that I've seen is, you kind of break down the game into quadrants there, or not quadrants, I guess into threes, whatever you call that. And Jacksonville's managed to score in that first third of the game, all 3 games here this weekend as well.
There's another breaking ball. I wonder if Carney, obviously, when you give up an RBI double, you're going to think about, well, I should have thrown maybe something else there. But he went to that fastball, and he paid for it that time.
No, you got to throw it at some point.
Yep.
He's been trying to set it up he's almost pitching backward a little bit here. But Samayan, I don't know if he was guessing or what, but he got it.
He definitely guessed right. This one's skied up in the air. Let's see if it'll stay on the infield. It will. Let's see who's going to get it. And who got it? The catcher got it. There was a convergence of pitcher, catcher, and first baseman. And the catcher comes out with the out for out number 3. But a run does score, 2 hits in the inning for Jacksonville. The Dolphins lead it 1-0 as we head to the 4th inning here in Jacksonville. Dolphins 1, Wofford 0 from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Can't sing along.
Welcome back to John Sessions Stadium. 1-0 Jacksonville leading the Wofford Terriers after the RBI double into the right center gap by Ruben Samayan just moments ago, plating Blake DeLameleur to get the scoring started on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Scott Manzi, along with Andrew Gibson here on this beautiful Sunday for baseball in early March. Final Sunday of non-daylight savings time.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be spring forward here pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to that. I always love a little extra daylight, don't you?
Yeah, I don't look forward to losing that hour of sleep on the Saturday night to Sunday, but
that's the drawback.
It is. It's one night. Yeah. Find a way to make it work. Wofford coming to the plate, finding themselves trailing on the scoreboard, something they have, unfortunately for them, gotten used to over the course of the weekend. Lawson Hill, the 2-hole hitter, standing in, and Mason Adams with a lead starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike at the knees. Adams has been very efficient here throughout this game, has allowed just 1 base runner via a walk in the first. As we work into the 4th, the 0-1 grounded to the left side foul. And it's quickly 0-2 on Hill, who came into this weekend series leading the nation in doubles. He does have 2 over the course of this weekend, but they are both singles. Stole a base last night. 0-2 pitch from Adams. That one slipped out of his hand, it looked like, as the slider misses way up. Wind has started to pick up a little bit more here throughout the course of this afternoon. We saw it playing tricks on the trifecta of Terriers who converged on that pop-up from Heffron a moment ago. Breaking ball stays up to even the count at 2-2. That was a heck of a play by Hill, the catcher. He kind of just snuck in beside Dempsey to snag that one. I thought they were all going to run into each other.
Yeah, I thought nobody was going to even get to it. I thought for a moment that the first baseman, Dempsey, was going to come over and make the play, but the catcher came out with it.
2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Nice play by head coach Todd Enerdonado down there at third to snag that grounder. And he receives a smattering of applause from the Jacksonville dugout.
He's got no glove over there. That was bare hand all the way.
Yeah, like a turn-of-the-century ball player down there. They might as well have been playing with no gloves. I always look back on those. Now you look at it, it's like, well, that's the size of the person's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's just like a leather pad. Actually, Mike Casala found a little like training mitt and took a picture with it at Media Day this year. It's quite ridiculous looking. Another 2-2 here to Hill. Fastball sprayed foul to the right side, and he is not an easy out in the 2-hole for this Wofford lineup, as many of these guys aren't. But he has, after falling behind 0-2, seen 6 pitches now in this at-bat, 7th upcoming.
And you even look back to last year, Lawson Hill led the Terriers with a .467 batting average in limited action.
2-2 pitch is popped up to the right side, into right field. Delamiller trotting in, reaches up, and secures it for out number 1. Here comes Colin Davis, who's the only base runner to reach thus far for this Wofford lineup. He drew a walk back in the first. Mason Adams now at 44 pitches.
And if you remember, there was a borderline call that could have been strike 3, and he actually drew a walk the next pitch.
Mm-hmm. Adams has been living all around the zone. I think he's been very deliberate and effective with his pitches. First pitch showed bunt, and it is a slider down and outside for ball 1 to Davis. Davis runs well. We've seen him do this a couple of times now, where that first pitch, he'll drop the bat head down, make it look like he may try and put it in play, and we haven't actually seen him bunt one yet. The 1-0. Off speed for a strike at the knees. Base is empty, 1 out, 1-0 Jacksonville, top of the 4th. And a 1-1 count on the Terriers' center fielder, Colin Davis. Got the slightly open stance as the 1-1 pitch comes in. Another breaking ball that is blooped down the right field line. Almost some trouble there as it falls foul by maybe a foot.
Yeah, it was very close down the right field line, and I thought for a second it was going to drift fair.
That was just inches away from grabbing chalk down the line, and that would have at least been a single, if not more, for Colin Davis. We saw Dempsey yesterday do something similar, took one in on the hands and just put it in no man's land down the right field line.
Davis is a guy that's used to getting on base. He's had a hit in every game for Wofford since February 24th. That game he went 0 for 5, but he's had at least a hit in every single game since middle of February.
The 1-2, fastball high.
Dude, in between innings, I'll see if I can find that soundboard. And you can do it. The only thing, so before I forget to tell you, if we end up using it.
Jacksonville on the scoreboard first, thanks to a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Adams trying to throw up a 0 on the top half of the next one. 2-2 pitches fouled off, and Wofford, they're battling here against Mason Adams in the 4th. Second time through the order for Adams, making his first career start for Jacksonville today through long relief last Sunday after Austin Temple left the game at Troy with an injury in the 3rd. Adams came in and pitched effectively for Jacksonville. The 2-2, breaking ball, ground ball, foul left side. But he was put in a very difficult situation when you go on the road, and he inherited a couple of base runners. A run had already come in for a Troy lineup that had been very hot throughout the course of the weekend.
I saw the ball pop out when we meet on the other side. I was like, this guy better not try some silly shit.
2-2. Down and outside, full count. This seems strikingly familiar to the at-bat that Colin Davis had back in the 1st. This next pitch will also be the 8th that he has seen in the at-bat against Adams. He drew the walk last time. Base is empty, 1 out. Adams trying to avoid putting on Davis for the second time today. Just hadn't been able to find that one pitch to get him out. Payoff pitch. And he hits it. Right in the small of the back, Davis heads to first. Sure, he wished that had just been ball 4 as opposed to wearing one, but he heads to first anyway, slowly.
First baseman number 9, John Dempsey.
So the second base runner of the day is the same guy, Colin Davis, who heads to first with 1 out here in the 4th. And John Dempsey climbs in, grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first his last time up. This is the guy that Wofford is hoping gets going here at some point soon. Ground ball pitcher on the mound, and Mason Adams. We'll see if he can maybe induce a double play here and get out of this inning. Davis runs well at first. Adams out of the stretch. First pitch in for a strike at the knees. Started him off with a slider. Nice looking pitch there by Adams. Davis has stolen 2 bases this year in 2 tries. And they'll throw over to first to check on him. No tag applied.
You mentioned they're hoping to get Dempsey going. 1 for 8 so far in this series, but a very talented left-handed hitter.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was hitting in the 3-hole the last 2 days and the 4-hole today. You know, he's a guy that Wofford expects things out of. No doubt about it. Another throw over to first. Again, no tag. Now the 0-1. Perfectly placed pitch on the outside corner, breaking ball away from Dempsey, and it is 0-2 on the first baseman for Wofford. Dolphins in the gold unis here today at home on this Sunday. Oh-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him to chase an upstairs heater. And Mason Adams records his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. And that is the 2nd out of the inning.
Good pitch, a high fastball, got him swinging on it, and you know, that's sometimes dangerous territory for a guy like Dempsey, who looks like he's got some power in his bat. A high fastball couldn't catch up to it.
Here's Jack Renwick, the second baseman, 0 for 1 today with a ground out. Runner at first, 2 outs, 1-0 Jacksonville, top of the 4th. He shows bunt, and bunts it foul to the left side. Trying to catch the defenders back deep there and sneak away on with a bunt single. There have been a few times this weekend that Wofford has tried to maybe catch Jacksonville in a specific defensive alignment, things like that, and you know, they're going to be thinking about some execution stuff on their way back to Spartanburg, South Carolina at the end of the game today, no matter how it plays out. Played just over an hour here in Jacksonville as the 0-1 pitch misses upstairs. 1-0. Dolphins on top, looking for the sweep here this afternoon.
Jack Renwick playing for his hometown team. He was actually born in Spartanburg, South Carolina, a freshman at a Dorman High School in Spartanburg.
1-1. And that is poked out into left field, but right at Tommy Joseph, and the inning comes to a close. A base runner again, Colin Davis, again unable to advance past first base. Mason Adams, 4 strong innings thus far, and Jacksonville with a 1-0 lead as we head to the home half. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Whether you're a team, college, or fan, Sport Travel can help you plan the trip or
leading Wofford. And the Dolphins bringing Joseph Burchard and Coy Pell to the plate. Trying to add to that one-run advantage. Scott Manzi, Andrew Gibson. Back on this beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball on the First Coast. Last home game for a while for Jacksonville as the Dolphins head on the road next weekend. No midweek games this week, and then head down to the new ballpark at Florida for a 3-game set against the Gators this coming weekend before returning home the following weekend for UCF. First pitch is a fastball on the outside edge to Tommy Joseph, swinging left-handed here, the switch hitter. And it's 0-1. Joseph 0 for 1 today, struck out looking his first time up to end the first. Jacksonville will also go to College of Charleston midweek the following week. Don't want to leave that one out there. The 0-1. That's a breaking ball that Joseph fooled badly on. A half-hearted swing through that one. And he's quickly behind 0-2.
You're going to make the trip to Gainesville?
Going to try. You know, the things aren't as foregone in conclusions this year as they are in years past. But the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball misses low. But yeah, that's a close enough one to where I'm trying to arrange to make the trip, driving it myself. Maybe get a little bit of a contingency to head down there throughout the course of the weekend. The 1-2. Bouncing in front of the plate, and Hill took that one off the chest protector, or maybe his arm, and Davis out from behind the plate. The umpire trying to buy Hill a little bit of time to collect himself. Coach Ender Donato out, making sure that he's all right. Hill back starting behind the plate today. He started on Friday, did not get the start yesterday, did not appear behind the plate yesterday. Did DH.
Yeah, he shook his right arm after that pitch in the dirt, just came back up and hit him.
Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed, blew a fastball past Joseph. And he is a strikeout victim of Kearney for the second time today. That is the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Elliott Kearney, who has looked really outside of that one pitch that he left there for Samayan to handle, has looked very, very good here today. 1 out, bases empty. Trace Burchard coming to the plate. He hit one pretty well out to center his first time up. It was merely a fly out. First pitch to the right-handed swinging Burchard, checks his swing and a called strike.
And going back to that strikeout, it's, you know, sometimes when you throw the breaking ball so effectively, the fastball looks even faster coming out of his hand up in the zone, and got a good strikeout swinging that time for Wofford.
The 0-1. Breaking ball, misses a little bit up.
That one looked pretty good from my viewpoint.
That ball, a lot of 12-6 action on it. Base is empty, 1 out, the 1-1. Run right back to it and locates this time a little bit lower in the zone and gets it called for a strike. And Jacksonville hitters just trying to figure out how to time that thing up. I mean, it comes out of the hand, you look at it, you go, that's not coming anywhere near. Ends up dropping right back into the zone. The 1-2 pitch. Yeah, that is sprayed foul to the right side and out of play.
He has definitely buckled some knees this afternoon with that pitch.
1-0 Jacksonville, bottom of the 4th. Burchard picked up his first career RBI last night in the first inning. 1-2 pitch. And he swings and misses at a ball down in the dirt, and Hill gets the tag after the ball got away, and back-to-back strikeouts for Kearney to start the 4th.
First baseman, number 8.
Here comes Christian Coypel trying to break the string of men sat down via the K that has stretched to 2 here to start this 4th. Of course, Coypel is a guy who is capable of changing things on the scoreboard in any given swing. Led the A-Sun in home runs last year with 5. Just 17 games played. First pitch swinging, and he rips one to the right side, and that falls in for a base hit down the line and right. Coypel with the base hit. And he has been on base twice here today. Back into the starting lineup for the first time since last Saturday, and he is showing that he has earned it.
Yeah, Coypel drew a walk earlier, now on base with a base hit. A good piece of hitting to that right field side, and I thought for a moment he might turn the bag and go to 2, but not deep enough.
He's not quite the runner of some of these other guys either. Dakota Jalila stands in with 2 outs and a runner at first, and the first pitch called a strike with the curveball in the inner half.
Yeah, I think we saw evidence of that whenever they tried the pick off and he got caught between, and there was just not much chance of Coypel. Even though he made it a close play down at second, he was still picked off.
0-1 pitch to Jalila, tried the same thing, and Hill with a very exaggerated frame as that pitch missed well inside on Jalila to make it 1-1. Carney can continually locate that pitch to right-handers, which he has throughout much of the afternoon. I mean, there's just not much you can do with it. 1-1 pitch. Fastball, shot to the right side, bouncing through into right field. Coypel holds up at second base. Jalila with his first hit of the afternoon. Back-to-back singles off of Carney. And Jacksonville has 2 men on with 2 out, looking for a little 2-out rally.
Right fielder number 23.
The only other man with a...
DeLamellar.
Well, one of the only other 2 men, I should say, with a base hit so far is the man coming to the plate right now, Blake DeLamellar, who singled to get everything started back in the third, came in to score on the RBI single from Ruben Samayan.
Now Jacksonville with some traffic on the bases, something they haven't had yet today, with multiple guys on base at the same time.
Teams that can be effective with 2 outs, those are the dangerous ones. First pitch curveball inside for a called strike. That pitch looks like it's several balls inside. And I don't know if Hill's doing a nice job of setting that up for Davis or what, but nobody's going to be able to hit that if it's called for a strike. The 0-1. And DeLamellar, hot shot down to third, right at Galassi, and he takes it to third himself, and almost Coypel there to beat it out. Man, Delaney really casual, I will say, as he trotted to third and beat Coypel by about a spike's length to the bag to end the inning, and Jacksonville gets a couple of base runners with 2 outs, but nothing more. 1-0, Jacksonville leads it through 4 here at John Sessions Stadium. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. 58. Jacksonville with a 1-0 lead over Wofford in search of a series sweep here this afternoon against the Terriers. And Mason Adams, 58 pitches to this point.
Left fielder number 49.
In his first career start for the Dolphins. And he faces 6, 7, and 8 in the Wofford order here in the 5th as he continues to work his way through the Terrier lineup the second time. Scott Manzi, Andrew Gibson back with you here at John Sessions Stadium as the first pitch to Zeb Rose misses down and outside. Ball 1. Rose today 0 for 1 with the strikeout. The 1-0. Breaking ball in the inner half. That one very similar to the pitch that Carney's gotten called quite a few times here today. Call the ball. Two-0 pitch. Hit in the air out into right field. DeLamore's got a bead on it as he makes his way over to the line in right and hauls it in just before crossing into foul territory for out number 1.
Adams really hasn't induced a lot of hard contact today. He's been cruising along here in this game for Jacksonville. It's over 60 pitches now, but they have not been high-stress pitches.
On 3 of the last 4 that he has retired have been flyouts. Those are the first 3 flyouts of the day against him. Brennan Dorigi, the DH, struck out on 3 pitches looking his last time up and takes a strike to start this at-bat as well. Some friendly advice for Dorigi. You might want to swing one here. The 0-1 pitch. And he does swing and slices one into shallow left. Jalila back from short. Makes a difficult play look easy. Reaching back over his head on a tailing liner away from him to secure it for out number 2.
Jalila is a heck of a defender at shortstop, and that time he was into left center, trying to make that one nearly on that grab and just retreating back and able to get it before the left fielder even thought about getting close to it.
Laney must have been looking for the bathroom.
Ryan Galaney finally climbs in. And Adams, who is patiently up there waiting, starts him off with a fastball in the inner half that has ruled the ball inside. Galaney today 0 for 1 with the ground out to second. 1-0 Jacksonville, top of the 5th, 2 outs, bases empty. 1-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Adams has faced the minimum in 2 out of the 4 innings thus far. The 1-1 is a fastball high and away. Trying to do so again here in the 5th. Delaney getting his first start of the weekend over third. He's come in as a pinch hitter in 2 games prior to this. 2-1. Ground ball down to short. A couple of steps to his right. Up with it. Jalila, the hard throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. And another efficient inning for Mason Adams, who sits down Wofford in order again here in the 5th. We head to the home half, 1-0, Jacksonville on top. You're listening to Jacksonville University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Wofford. And Elliot Carney back out to the bump for the Terriers. He has been quite good here in the early part of this game as well. Really just one mistake so far. The RBI double he gave up to Ruben Samayan. That is the difference so far in this game.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it was an inside fastball that Ruben attacked, and he got it into right center for the RBI double, and that's it. I mean, otherwise, he's been very effective today.
Jackson Grabsky leading things off, to be followed by Jesus Pacheco, and then the top of the order for the third time today, and Ruben Samayan.
Dinner on Friday night or something, I don't know what.
And first pitch to Grabsky is a strike call to the knees.
And Sunday, we're headed to Madison. Yeah, I don't have games on the calendar, things get booked.
Dude, I hate it when my wife starts a sentence with,
The 0-1.
do you have a game on...
Same pitch, this time called a ball low.
I'm just thinking, please have a
This is
game
that
on.
lower
Please
third
have
of
a
the
game
order for
on.
Jacksonville, where you do see several freshmen, Delamalore, Grabsky, and Pacheco, all freshmen.
And 3 in a row right there at the bottom third of the order here today. With Delamalore getting the start, the 1-1 swung on and missed. A slider away from Grabsky. He struck out on a breaking ball back in the third.
I got next Saturday off. No little. Nice.
How did that happen?
Spring break. Coaches
The
want
1-2.
this Saturday or next
Breaking
Saturday.
ball, and Grabsky gets this one, driving it out to left field, and Rose a circuitous route to the baseball, and he makes a tumbling catch out in left to get the first out of the inning. He was going back on that, had to change his route to charge in on it as he worked his way to the foul line in left, and ends up taking a tumble at the end as he secures it for out number 1.
Really terrific play. I thought that was at least a single, potentially extra bases. He probably would have got to get a throw in to get a runner at second, but I mean, he's the kind of guy that they try to recruit. Guys that are athletic, can run. We saw he can run and just be able to play good defense, and that was a terrific play in left.
Jesus Pacheco 0 for 1. Shows bunt, and the first pitch way in. Pacheco has to spin out of the batter's box to avoid being hit. Pacheco a couple hits on Friday night, looking for his first hit since then. The 1-0. And he fouls this one off to the right side.
I thought it was interesting that Coach Interdonato, I've heard him talk before about how they recruit pitchers, and he said, we take execution over potential in pitchers. And I mean, here's a guy with Carney, you're just seeing the execution. He's throwing strikes, he's performing well.
Curveball misses in. 2-1 to Pacheco. No doubt. And for Carney, I mean, you just hope for his sake he's able to pitch a full season finally for Wofford, something he hasn't been able to do. 2-1 pitch, and Pacheco goes around on an elevated fastball.
That's one of those for Pacheco where you finally get that fastball, it's elevated, and you're thinking about that curveball, and then all of a sudden your eyes begin to light up when you see that fastball, and he just kind of mixed up on it.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called as he dropped the hammer on him there. Another strikeout for Carney as he continues to rack up the Ks here this afternoon. His 7th of the day for the second out of the 5th, and the order flips over for the third time here in this one. Ruben Samayan 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the third.
Let's see if he throws him a fastball this time.
I would imagine we would get a steady diet of breaking pitches here. And a lot of them away from Samayan as well. And this is up high as Ruben even dropped the bat down there, showing bunt a little bit. The defensive alignment for Wofford, they have played most of Jacksonville's hitters to dead pull here this weekend, as Ruben, a guy who actually does most of his damage going the other way throughout his career. Bouncing ball back up the middle, perfectly aligned to shortstop Brown, able to scoop it, but he throws it away! Ruben Samayan digging for second. The throw is not in time. Samayan in at second safely after the error by Matty Brown, the shortstop.
Well, Matty Brown actually got that ball pretty cleanly at short, had to go a little bit toward the second base side of the bag, but the field was clean, but the throw was not.
Defense was aligned to play Samayan to pull, so Brown was already playing very close to the bag at second base. He didn't have to go very far to get that one as it went bouncing up the middle, and He just was not able to make the routine play there, and a two-base error puts Samayan in scoring position, and Corey Heffron with a chance to make Wofford pay. Yesterday, Brown had an error at short, and then Friday, Brown had an error at short, and we saw a bases clearing triple after that by Jalila. First pitch, curveball inside to Heffron, ball one. Heffron already a pair of RBI here this weekend. 0 for 2 so far in this game. He has driven in 5, tied for the team high. Samayan dancing down there at second base, and so Carney with the high leg kick and then spins off the rubber. 1-0 Jacksonville. Heffron looking for a base hit here to add to that lead. Samayan with good speed down at second base. In the bottom of the 5th, the 1-0. That one breaks in at the bottom of the zone to Heffron for a strike.
That was definitely bottom of the zone. It looks pretty low to me, but called a strike.
The senior Heffron swings it right-handed. Awaits the 1-1 from Carney. Olata looks back to second base. Now comes home and hits Heffron in the left shoulder. Second time that Heff has worn one here in this series. And that puts 2 men on with 2 outs for the second straight inning against Carney. And after relatively low-stress innings, I would say, throughout his first couple, these last 2 have been, really since he retired, the first 2 guys he faced there in the 4th with back-to-back strikeouts have been a little tougher. And because of that, we see a mound visit for the first time today. Pitching coach Seth Cutler-Volts out to the mound to chat with Carney. Maybe just trying to do a little too much right now. Really worried about the run game. And was not able to execute that pitch in the inner half to the right-handed swinging Heffron.
Well, this is a tough spot too, because you think about this as if you're Wofford, they could have got out of the inning easily if not for a throwing error by the shortstop. There were 2 down when that play occurred, and now you begin to get into some trouble because you have a throwing error that allows a base runner, and then a hit by pitch, which also allows a base runner. So there's still 2 outs for Wofford, but they've really gotten into some trouble here with runners at first and second.
Well, Tommy Joseph, a strikeout victim twice today already against Carney. Trying to break out of that here today in this at-bat and deliver another run for Jacksonville, whom lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th and are threatening. 2 outs. Joseph hitting left-handed this time. And he takes a first pitch, breaking ball, outer corner for a strike. Samayan at second, Heffron at first. Mistakes by Wofford had put 2 base runners on. The 0-1. Joseph with a swing and a miss. Nothing in 2 on Joseph. Can he battle here in this at-bat now against Carney? 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Another breaking ball at the knees, and Joseph down on strikes for the 3rd time today. And that strands 2 men off for the 2nd straight inning. Carney doing his job to keep things close. It's 1-0 through 5 here in Jacksonville. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Annual Diamond Club membership provides access to the best seats in
on top of Wofford in search of a series sweep here this afternoon on this Sunsplash Sunday afternoon at John Sessions Stadium. Scott Manzi alongside Andrew Gibson as we bring you the action here on this final day of baseball for a while at John Sessions Stadium. Dolphins won't play at home for nearly 2 weeks after this one. And they're trying to close things out the right way here at home before heading on the road for 4 straight starting next Friday. The trip to Gainesville. Starting things off, the shortstop, 9-hole hitter Matty Brown. He is 0 for 1 today with the ground out to first in his lone at-bat prior to this. First pitch from Mason Adams is down and outside for ball 1. To the switch hitting Brown, who bats left-handed here. 68th pitch of the ball game there for Mason Adams, who works into the 6th. Comes home, and Brown with a fly ball out to left center field. Tracking back on it, Samayan with a good beat on it. Round number 1.
This has been a heck of a debut for Adams on the mound today for Jacksonville. He's through 5 1/3 and really spotless baseball for him on the mound today. It's been terrific.
Prior to today, 3 relief appearances and 9 innings of work. He's almost doubled that here today as he has thrown 5 1/3. Over halfway there to at least to that point. Top of the order again, Nolan Hester, who takes on the outside corner for a strike to start the at-bat. He's 0 for 2 today, hitting in the leadoff spot for the first time this weekend. And it misses low to make it 1-1. Adams sets and fires the 1-1 pitch. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Ruled to have missed for ball 2.
Adams really hasn't missed the strike zone much today. We talk about guys just executing pitches. He's done that very well, throwing strikes. And his pitch count really isn't all that high for him to be where he is at in this game.
He's been pretty efficient here. 1 pitch is ripped out into right field, but Delamaler able to make the play for out number 2. That ball hung up there just long enough for the freshman to get over, and he makes a sliding grab out in right to retire Hester.
Catcher number 10, Lawson Hill.
I'll tell you what, both teams have really shown their defensive skills today. I mean, both Wofford and Jacksonville are playing it and picking it pretty good out there and defensively.
Yeah, the irony, the lone error of the day came on one of the more routine plays of the day, in which Matty Brown just sailed one past the first baseman Dempsey last inning. Here's Lawson Hill with the bases empty and 2 outs. Adams starts him off with the fastball down the pipe for a strike. 1-0 Jacksonville here in the top of the 6th. Adams wasting no time. The 0-2 down to short. It's Jalila from shallow left field. Low throw picked by Coypel for out number 3. That is 8 in a row sat down by Mason Adams, who has thrown 6 strong innings here today. Jacksonville leading 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. 1-0. Jacksonville leading Wofford. Trace Burchard leading things off for the Dolphins. Jacksonville looks to add a little cushion here. Have had opportunities each of the last 2 innings, getting men into scoring position, but have not been able to plate them. As Elliott Carney has worked his way out of a couple of jams here in both the 4th and the 5th. He starts the 6th inning. The right-hander deals, and a first pitch breaking ball downstairs, but called a strike to Burchard, who is 0 for 2 today. Carney, that was his 77th pitch of the afternoon. First signs of stirring down in that bullpen for Wofford in right field, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses. Right-handed pitcher getting loose for the Terriers, as we expect Carney to go at least this inning. May get a chance to go another. Scott Manzi, Andrew Gibson back with you here on this perfectly sunny Sunday afternoon. Fastball high to make it 2-1 now to Burchard.
This is what you would call a cool, crisp Sunday afternoon in Jacksonville, 61 degrees.
Warm in the sun, cool in the shade. The 2-1. Burchard takes a strike on the outer half.
Of course, some people may be listening or watching up north. 61 degrees is springtime for them.
Well, I talked to a couple of Wofford parents yesterday, and I know that Spartanburg, South Carolina isn't like, the true north, but it's north of here, the upstate part of the South Carolina. Swing and a miss, and Burchard strikes out. For out number 1 here in the 6th. That is 9 strikeouts, now for Elliott Carney.
First baseman number 8.
Really racked up those numbers today. He came in today's game with 9 strikeouts in 2 previous starts. And that brings up Christian Coypel. Well, they were telling me, and they looked at the schedule, they got all excited, a trip to Florida in early March. We have to remind people sometimes, Jacksonville, Northeast Florida, this isn't we're not exactly Miami up here as far as the weather is concerned. First pitch to Coypel, misses low for ball 1. Leppy on base twice so far today. Drew a walk back in the 2nd, singled in the 4th.
Yeah, this coming week will be pretty good. Mid to upper 70s for Jacksonville. This coming weekend is going to be really nice. Temperatures near 80. That'll be good because Jacksonville area, the Players' Championship coming to Jacksonville this weekend. Big tournament, of course, each year, and they'll have, looks like, good weather.
Coypel swings through off speed, and it is 1-1 on the Jacksonville first baseman. Yep. The return of the Players' Championship to Sawgrass, cut short after just 1 round last year, the 1-1. Another swing and a miss. Well, it looked like a changeup away there to Coypel. I was out there on that opening Thursday. Were you working that day?
I was there, yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it?
It was bizarre, totally bizarre, just to see the press conference following and just after that, the pandemic really took hold here in the country and everything shut down. It was wild.
1-2 pitch down in the dirt. Coypel lays off. I remember being out there with a friend, and we're sitting out in one of the sponsored tents out there by 18, and having a couple pops and going like, do we stay? Do we go? Like, what's the move here?
Yeah.
We hung out till about 5 o'clock. The 2-2 just misses away, and it is a full count. I mean, if you're Elliott Carney, he's executed stuff inside the right-handers away from left-handers all day long. The inconsistency has been how home plate umpire Landon Davis has called it. He thought he had strike 3 there. Payoff pitch with 1 out to Coypel. And he rips one to the right side, but foul. Turned on that pitch in on the hands and a little too far out in front.
I think both pitchers, at least as this strike zone for the home plate umpire, Davis, moves along here, he's been pretty tight on the corners today. There's not been many calls that have been on the black.
Payoff pitch. A slicing foul ball to the left side. Delaney gives it a look, but one hops into the terrace, where there are quite a few more fans sitting down there today. It was very empty yesterday when the rain started, and with good reason. Good at bat here for Coypel again. He saw 7 pitches when he drew his walk in the first. He has seen 7 here now. Here's the 8th, and he strikes out looking on a big breaking ball on the outer half. And a 10th strikeout of the ballgame for Elliott Carney as he fans the first 2 he faces here in the 6th.
Shortstop number 2, Dakota Jalila.
The 10th K, the backward K variety, got him looking on that one. And he's been terrific. I mean, he's not going to overpower you with anything, but he drops in that breaking ball, throws strikes, 10 strikeouts for him.
First pitch to Dakota Jalila, who singled his last time up. First pitch swinging and a fly ball out to right center field. That is run down by Davis for out number 3. Dolphins down in order in the 6th. Still holding on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the 7th. Andrew Gibson takes over again on the play-by-play when we return. You're listening to University Baseball from Van Wagner on the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Session Stadium 1-0 Jacksonville leads as we head to the 7th. I'm Scott Manzi, and I'll hand the play-by-play duties back over to Andrew Gibson now.
Thank you, Scott. Jacksonville continues to lead 1-0 against the Wofford Terriers. It's been a terrific afternoon for Mason Adams on the mound for Jacksonville. He comes out now for the 7th inning. And Adams today, over 6 innings, he struck out 4. He's only walked 1. He's thrown 75 pitches today. And it's something that you don't really want to talk about too much as you get later in the ball game. But, Adams, not only is he not allowed to run, he hasn't allowed to hit so far. And he has just been cruising along. I remember the late, great Don Sutton, who we lost earlier this year, a longtime terrific pitcher for the Dodgers and broadcaster for the Braves. He would say he's sitting in a rocking chair today on the mound, and he's cruised through 6 innings, scoreless and hitless. His first pitch of the 7th is swung on, a sharp ground ball to third, and it's going to be a base hit. It'll get through for Colin Davis. And Colin Davis, the 3-hole hitter, center fielder today for Wofford, gets aboard here in the top of the 7th with a base hit.
John Dempsey.
And that'll be the first hit of the ball game for Wofford as they get on the scoreboard with a hit in the top half of the 7th. But through this point, Adams has just been cruising along pretty well. Here's John Dempsey, the first baseman, left-hander, stands in now with the runner at first. Jacksonville leads 1-0, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Wofford. From the stretch, here's the pitch. It's a scoop at first by Coy Pell. The relay back to first. It's a double play. Coy Pell scooped it. He threw it down to second. Jalila covering, and Jalila the relay throw back to first. And that is a twin killing for Jacksonville. Just exactly what Mason Adams was looking for in that scenario. 1 pitch, 2 outs. The pitcher's best friend, the double play. And so the base runner is wiped away. And so after the first base hit of the game, registered by Colin Davis, he's quickly wiped away on a double play.
How'd that go down?
First pitch, ground ball to the left.
Grafsky playing in.
5-4-3.
Oh, no,
The double play was a 3-6.
Here is Jack Renwick at the plate now with 2 down.
Mentioned it too. Yeah.
Quickly a double play and now 2 outs in the inning for Jacksonville after the first base hit of the game just a moment ago, but it was quickly taken away by the double play. Coypel to Jalila, then back on to first for the double play.
Doubletree double play.
Oh, yeah.
No cookies this year, though.
Is that
Our
right?
COVID protocols.
Ah,
Maybe next year.
The 2-1. This one, maybe another borderline pitch. It was a breaking ball from Adams, but could not get the corner strike.
82.
Now it's a 3-1 pitch on the way. Adams approaching 80 pitches on his afternoon. Here's the pitch. This one a strike inside. Boy, he'll call the inside strike, but the outside strike, at least for Jacksonville, has not been there today.
Yeah, it seems like he's more willing to give a little bit inside to right-handers as opposed to away from lefties.
Yep. Here's the 3-2 with 2 down. The pitch swung on and fouled back as Jack Renwick is battling with a full count. Here's the 3-2. This one just poked foul, just behind the netting, behind home plate. Renwick 0 for 2 this afternoon against Adams. His third at bat against him. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on. This is a ground ball to second. Pacheco coming over, and he will make the throw over to Coypel at first. And we have hit the 7th inning stretch time here in Jacksonville. The Dolphins lead Wofford 1-0. We head now to the bottom half of the 7th from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
In honor of longtime JU supporter, Mr. John Sessions.
Seventh inning stretch time is over, and now we head to the bottom half here in the 7th inning. Jacksonville continues to lead this afternoon 1-0. An RBI double by Ruben Samayan. The only difference in today's game, 1-0 Jacksonville. That RBI double came in the home half of the 3rd inning, and there have been zeros put up on the board ever since for both teams. Wofford only 1 hit. They actually just got it a moment ago. Colin Davis with a base hit, but the Dolphins able to get out of that quick jam with a double play and some good fielding defensively. As for Jacksonville, Blake DeLamalure, the freshman, leads off the bottom half of the 7th. Dolphins holding tight to a 1-0 lead. Andrew Gibson, Scott Manzi with you today on a beautiful day, blue sky and sunshine here in Florida. And we once again, Scott's continued to see Elliott Carney, who's out there working on the mound again. He is now into the 7th for Wofford.
Yeah, he's creeping up, approaching the 100 pitch mark. This is his 94th.
This one fouled back, first base side, and out of play off the bat of Delamalure.
So I would imagine this would be the final inning that we see Carney, but hey, 7 strong innings if he's able to finish this one. Nothing to sneeze at. I mean, really, as you said, it probably one real mistake, and that was the fastball he grooved in to Samayan, who made him pay.
Otherwise, 10 strikeouts on the afternoon for Carney, and now he's got Delamalure with a 2-2. And this is a fastball outside, misses the mark.
Of course, Delamalure was the man who scored on that play when he picked up the first hit of the ball game on an infield single and then stole second. Important parts of that story.
Carney with a 3-2. And another one fouled back first base side by Delamalure. Both starting pitchers today have worked deep into their start. This is now into the 7th for Carney, and Mason Adams for Jacksonville just finished off his 7th inning.
7 innings of one-hit baseball for Mason Adams in his first career start for Jacksonville.
Another one fouled back from Delamalure.
Not much more you can ask for there.
No, absolutely not. In his debut as a starter for Jacksonville, you had mentioned earlier that he had come in some long relief situations, but first start for him, and honestly couldn't have gone better. He had a no-hitter into the 7th.
He's only thrown 86 pitches. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him come back out.
And this one hits Delamalure, and this one he's going to have to shake this one off going down to first. I think it caught him on the hand. He's shaking his right. Yeah,
maybe around the wrist area on that right hand.
So Blake will go down to first.
Third baseman
Now
number
Jacksonville
17,
begins
Jackson
the 7th
Grabsky.
inning with a runner on base, and Jackson Grabsky comes to the plate now.
Well, Delamalure reached to start the 3rd. He stole 2nd and came in to score. Can Jacksonville replicate that script here?
Grabsky coming off a terrific night, 4 for 4 with 2 doubles last night in the win against Wofford in Game 2. Shows bunt, and this one is out of the zone inside. And potentially a bunt situation to move the runner over to second. And we know that Delamalure has some speed.
Yeah, Jacksonville in a 1-run game, they know one more run could be the difference, and this is a prime situation to play that small ball type style, that National League style of baseball that is a big part of JU baseball and how it's been run over the years.
Especially under Chris Hayes, that's the way he wants to play it. The 1-0, here's the pitch, the bunt put down, pitcher's going to field it, running toward the bag, it'll advance the runner, Delamalure gets down to second, a sacrifice bunt put on that time by Grabsky.
Jacksonville, I think, fortunate that Carney never even took a look to second base there, because that ball basically went straight back to the mound. It didn't go as far down the line as Grabsky wanted it to. And Carney fielding it, I thought for sure he was going to at least take a peek over there and see if he could get the out. And instead just takes it over to first, and now Jacksonville with a pinch hitter coming in for Jesus Pacheco. Tyler McKenna getting loose in the on-deck circle.
A freshman replacing a freshman as Tyler McKenna will come in to pinch hit for Jacksonville.
Pinch hitting for Jesus Pacheco, number 38, Tyler McKenna.
McKenna, the redshirt freshman who had the best on-base percentage out of anybody on the team last year. Still trying to find his rhythm at the plate so far this season. 1 hit and 9 at-bats.
McKenna hits from the left side. He does so with a runner at second. Delamalure down there for Jacksonville. Got on a hit by pitch, and then a moment ago, the fielder's choice, the pitcher running toward the bag, and he gets down to second on a sacrifice bunt. And here is Tyler McKenna batting from the left side with 1 down. Jacksonville still holding to a 1-0 lead here in the 7th. Swing and a miss for McKenna. As you mentioned, the redshirt freshman, a lot of these guys able to get that extra year because of COVID-19. I think it's something we talked about during the break. A lot of these guys that are especially seniors that are getting to come back and play another year, they're going to smash some record books this year.
Yeah, I mentioned at the top, Ruben Samayan playing his 200th career game. Making his, 200th career game. Just 12 shy of cracking the top 10 in program history.
Here's a base hit for McKenna into right field. There, let's see if they wave the runner. A strong turn at third, and DeLamalure is going to run back, retreat back to the third base bag. But it's a good piece of hitting to right field by Tyler McKenna.
Blake DeLamalure was running with his head down and missed the sign to go home. And he kind of stumbled around the bag at third, and third base coach Brad Wilkerson had the windmill on. He was sending him. And DeLamalure,
number 4, Ruben Samayan.
after he gathered his feet back under him after rounding third, put on the brakes and held up. Yeah, it would have been interesting at the plate. Jacksonville being aggressive there, but
number 21, Kyle Richardson.
we won't never know.
Yeah.
And this is it, I think, for Elliott Carney, with runners at the corners and one out, and a pinch runner coming in, Kyle Richardson. But that is head coach Todd Interdonato out there, not the pitching coach. It's 104 pitches now for Carney in the afternoon.
Yeah, and you saw it a moment ago, as you said, that DeLamalure missed the sign. Brad Wilkerson was telling him to go home, and he's still talking to him down there at third. Give him imparting some wisdom. Hey, you got to look at me
Yep.
when I'm
Young
giving
guy.
you the sign.
Young guy, he'll learn.
Yep. So Jacksonville still leads it 1-0. Dolphins look like they're going to chase.
No.
Wow, he's going to stay
Staying
in.
in.
How about that? A lot of times when the coach comes out or the manager, that's going to be all. But that meeting did not end that way for Carney. Maybe he talked him into leaving him in.
Maybe, I don't know. But either way, Ruben Samayan, the man who delivered the RBI hit, the lone one of the game, coming up to face Carney for a third time today. Runners at the corners.
Yep.
Great chance for Jacksonville.
Runners are at the corners with one down here in the bottom half of the 7th. Jacksonville 1-0 over Wofford, looking for a series sweep. Carney will deliver from the stretch. This one swung on, and a pretty good swing put on that time by Samayan, but fouled first base side.
One up the middle.
Ruben has put the ball in play all three times he has come to the plate, flown out to center field, doubled, drove in a run, reached on an error in the fifth.
Samayan's RBI double the difference in this game, and he could make even more of a difference here. Here's the pitch, and there's a big slow breaking ball for a strike, the big 12-6er that we've seen all afternoon from Carney.
Right? He's been going the other way for 5 years.
Through 6 1/3 so far, over 100 pitches, 10 strikeouts today for Carney.
Defense shifting here. All of a sudden, infielders starting to come in a little bit more. Shortstop Brown started shifting over to the hole.
There's a called strike 3. The breaking ball in the outside corner gets him looking, and Samayan is down on strikes for out number 2.
Catcher number 18.
Andrew, didn't you say that wasn't being called a strike earlier in the game?
I sure did, and that time he did get the call. That's well, I'll tell you what, the inside fastball to a right hand, really inside pitch to a right hander has been called, but I mean to a left hander on the outside part, not much, but that time it was.
Big spot here for Heffron. Hit his last time up.
Heffron bats with 2 down and runners at the corners. And this time a breaking ball, I guess just high in the zone.
That was more of a strike than the last one was.
Yeah.
Just peppered that one into right field, man.
So the 11th strikeout of the day for Carney. A terrific outing for him. And he still trails on the scoreboard, 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on. This one, Brad Wilkerson had to hop out of the way of that one on the third base side foul.
I didn't know Brad could hop like that.
Well, Brad, back in the day, a terrific college baseball player at Florida. He was one of the best two-way players ever in college baseball. Now a critical part of Chris Hayes' staff here at JU. Carney will with the 1-1 with 2 down, runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. Heffron shows bunt and pulls it back.
He got hit.
He got hit again. Wow. Heffron hit again. He's been hit already once in this game, and I think you said he's been hit a few times.
And he may have sold that one pretty well. Grazed his knuckles. And a couple of words to home umpire Landon Davis said, yeah, got me. And Coach Todd Donato out there to argue. His catcher Hill as well, not pleased by that call. And Heffron, second time he has been hit here today, third time this weekend. Boy, he may enter the all-time charts and hit by pitches before this series is over.
Yeah, you're good.
And how about this opportunity for Tommy Joseph? He bats now with the bases loaded. 2 down here in the 7th, and a big spot for Mr. Joseph now. He'll stand in from the left-hand side.
That's what my high school coach used to say to us all the time.
Tommy Joseph has struggled against Elliott Carney today. 3 strikeouts against him.
Here's the first pitch. This one down and got away from the catcher Hill for just a moment. Joseph 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. He's also left 2 on base today. Dolphins have left 5 on base, and if they squander this opportunity, they'll leave them loaded. The 1-0 from Carney to Joseph. Here's the pitch. This one inside. Boy, if that one had gotten away from Hill, would have been interesting. There's not a ton of foul territory from home plate to the backstop.
Carney was obviously very good in his pitches to Samayan, but hits Heffron an inside pitch. His first 2 haven't been anywhere close to Tommy Joseph here. It's got to be fatiguing slightly. He's thrown 112 pitches.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. You lose command when you throw that many pitches, and he has been treated as a workhorse today.
Way out of the zone again there, way low.
Be interesting to see where he goes now. Do you go back to that breaking ball, or do you throw him a fastball? Because you've got to throw a strike here. Bases loaded, 3-0 count with 2 down. Here is the pitch to Joseph, the 3-0. And he throws a strike. This one caught the inner half.
That wasn't even an obvious one. Yeah, that was. If he called that ball 4, it wouldn't have shocked me.
Right. Joseph ahead in the count, 3-1 with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. And there is ball number 4. He walks in with the bases loaded, and Jacksonville will bring home a run, and they lead it 2-0 now.
And that is it for Galaney. That ball wasn't even called ball 4, and then Donato was out of the dugout, and just maybe 2 batters too long there for Elliott Carney here in this outing, and he makes his way off. I mean, not many better starts you'll see where a guy leaves trailing 2-0 like this, but Elliott Carney, he left it all out there for Wofford today and gave them as good of a chance as any starter has for the Terriers this weekend. Pitching change, and we'll come back here in just a moment while the new arm gets loose. 2-0 Jacksonville on top in the bottom of the 7th. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
To the ball game for the Wofford Terriers. Dalton Radance comes in. Mr. Carney, who departs. Elliott Carney, after a pretty good outing, I would say, to say the least. 6 2/3, 11 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs. He threw 115 pitches today for Wofford, and he leaves here in the bottom half of the 7th after walking a man in with the bases loaded. Jacksonville continues to lead 2-0. Scott, bases continue to be loaded.
Big spot here for Trace Burchard, facing a difficult matchup, which he's got to face Radance, who is a side-arming right-hander, who misses down and in with a ball to start.
Big sidearm move action on his release. The junior right-hander, 6'4", 195 pounds, from Ackworth, Georgia, Atlanta area. He will pitch from the stretch, and here comes the big sidewinding breaking ball. It's a called strike on the outside.
Radance, 4th appearance of the year, has not allowed an earned run in 7 innings of work. 3 hits, 1 unearned run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks.
Swing and a miss. And not only do you have a good breaking ball, but coming from that release, it's even tougher to pick up.
When Trey started swinging at that pitch, I was like, why would you swing at that pitch? But then it ended up in the zone. It was just a little bit out in front of it. I mean, I can't imagine how hard that is to try and hit as a right-hander.
The 1-2 coming from Radance. Here's the pitch, swung on and lifted into left field. It's going to be a base hit. It'll score 1. It's going to score 2 for Jacksonville, and it's a 2 RBI double for the Dolphins to make it 4-0.
How about that? You see it once, it fools you. Shame on me. See it twice, I'm going to make you pay with a double over the head of the third baseman. And Trace Burchard with a bit of a coming out party here this weekend. A big-time double down the line. 3 RBI now in the series. And Jacksonville with the breathing room they've been looking for all afternoon, now leading 4-0.
Well, it's something that we talked about earlier. Trace Burchard being in that 4-hole today for Jacksonville. Well, now you see why Chris Hayes put him there. A guy that delivered in the clutch when you needed him most. A 2 RBI double with the bases loaded. And now it's 4-0 Jacksonville. Dolphins have scored 3 in the inning. There's a strike called to Christian Coypel, who bats with 2 outs. And keep in mind, that's a 2-out base hit. Extra bases for Jacksonville.
That's what they've been missing today, right,
Yeah.
Andrew? They've had opportunities with 2 outs to push in runs. Haven't had that big 2-out hit, and they finally get it here in the 7th to help build a lead here out. I mean, what impressive plate presence. These freshmen all weekend long have just continually impressed me.
Trace Burchard, the latest freshman to deliver for Jacksonville. Radance throws is 0-1. This one lifted foul ground, and it's going to get out of play toward that terrace area and left. Foul ground. And now it's 0-2 on Christian Coypel.
8 men to the plate here in the 7th for Jacksonville. 3 of them have come into score, and 2 still in scoring position. And all these runs have been charged to Elliott Carney.
Coypel today 1 for 2 with a walk. He was also caught stealing earlier this afternoon. He will look at a 0-2 pitch from Radance. This one low and away to the left-hand hitter. Dakota Jalila would be next for Jacksonville. If Coypel can reach and get Jalila to the plate with 2 outs. Runners at second and third after a 2 RBI double by Burchard. There's a swing and a miss, and that'll be the inning for Jacksonville, but not before 3 runs score. They chase the starter Carney, and then they add a few more to their total. It's 4-0 as we head to the 8th inning. Jacksonville leads Wofford, looking for a sweep of the weekend of the Terriers. And from Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Instagram and YouTube to stay in the loop and get exciting
Jacksonville. They lead at 4-0 against the Wofford Terriers. Andrew Gibson, Scott Manzi with you from John Sessions Stadium here in Jacksonville, Florida. And Jacksonville added to their total there, Scott, in the last half inning. 3 runs scored in the bottom half of the 7th, all charged against Elliott Carney as they chased the starter from the game.
Carney, remember, he gives up the pinch hit single to McKenna. Runners to the corners with 1 out at that point. Mound visit. He stays in the game when both of us thought that he was done. Gets the strikeout of Samayan, but then hits Heffron and walks Joseph to drive in a run, and that ends his day. And what was really a really nice outing with a blemish a little bit there at the end. 6 2/3. You can officially close the book on him now. 4 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 11, walked 2, hit 3 here today.
You can also close the book on Mason Adams. He is going to be done for the day. 7 strong innings in his debut start for Jacksonville. 1 hit today against Adams, a walk and 4 strikeouts, 86 pitches. Lengthy inning in the bottom half of the 7th, probably the reason he was not put back in the game, as we see Christian Graham in relief now for Jacksonville.
Graham takes over for the Dolphins and starts off Zeb Rose with a ball and a strike. Graham making his 3rd appearance of the season. The numbers aren't great so far for him, but he is someone who projects as a late inning guy, a setup type pitcher for this Jacksonville bullpen as he misses low, and it's now 2-1.
Zeb Rose at the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. Good fastball this time on the outside corner from Graham for a strike.
Think about Jacksonville's bullpen last couple of years. I mean, Chris Maloney, you've had him as a closer for the last 3 seasons. He has moved on, signing a free agent deal with the Detroit Tigers in the offseason. Misses down to the dirt, but you've had Zach Bryant get drafted after serving as a setup man and a closer for Jacksonville. You've had several pieces graduate or move on, so a lot of opportunity at the back end for Jacksonville this year.
The 3-2 from Graham fouled off by Rose.
Like when asked who his closer was at the beginning of the year, Coach Hayes said it could be any one of 3-4 guys, and that was even before Sam Brunig came in as a mid-year transfer from Embry-Riddle, who also considers to factor into that equation.
A closer by committee approach a little bit. Here's the 3-2. This one high and inside of a ball 4. Not the way you want to start here for Graham with a leadoff walk, but you'll see if Jacksonville can limit any possible damage that could do.
Brennan Dorighi.
Brennan Dorighi, 0 for 2 today. And if you're Graham, just get back to what you were doing there at the beginning. Fill the zone. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You're not coming in a 1-run game, right? You're coming in a 4-run game. You have a little bit of leverage. You don't want to waste that here early.
Graham from the stretch, his first pitch. Boy, that one, again, looked like a strike, but it was just off the plate, I guess. To a left-hand batter, that outside strike has not been called a bunch, but we have seen it a few times today. Nevertheless, a 1-0 pitch will be coming now from Graham. He delivers his 1-0 offering, and this one down in the dirt.
Now Mason Adams and most of the pitchers this weekend, is pitching coach Jerry Edwards has decided he wants to go ahead and have a chat with Christian Graham. Keys to success this weekend for Jacksonville pitching, they have consistently gotten ahead of Wofford hitters. They've started off with strikes, or if it's a ball, then they've worked their way back to even it up. Very few 2-0 counts this weekend from this Jacksonville pitching staff.
A mound visit with Christian Graham right now. Jacksonville continues to lead here in the top half of the 8th inning. The line score so far for Jacksonville, 4 runs on 6 hits. Dolphins have played clean baseball. No errors to this point. Wofford, no runs, 1 hit. The only hit came back in the 7th inning from Colin Davis, a ball that was just poked into right field. And that's the only hit of the ball game so far today for Wofford. They do have a throwing error by the shortstop, Matty Brown. But that is where it stands for Wofford, and they have a runner at first right now against Christian Graham, the redshirt sophomore from Dunellen, Florida. And he will have a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. This one, a called strike on the inside part of the plate against the designated hitter, Brennan Dorigi. Last appearance for Christian Graham against Troy on the 27th of February. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, struck out 2, and walked 1.
I think just about everybody on this Jacksonville team would like to just Men in Black minor racer that Troy weekend. Weren't a whole lot of great performances.
Says 2-1, fouled back, third base side.
But, valuable lessons came out of that, right? You sit there and you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, is this who we want to be all season? Because if so, it's going to be a long year. They came back and showed signs of fight against the Citadel. Unfortunately, weren't able to hang on to that one in late innings. And I don't know if there was a sacrifice made to any baseball gods, but things have certainly turned around here this weekend.
Here's the 2-2 from Graham. Swung on this one, fouled back third base side into left field, but it's going to be foul on top of the building over there, the pavilion area.
Oh, look at Assistant Director of Marketing Ryan Quintero all over it.
Flagging down foul balls today.
Fixing music.
All
doing it all.
All hands on deck for Mr. Ryan. Swung on to the 2-2 pitch as this one fouled back. First base side. Christian Graham played 2 years at Daytona State College in Daytona Beach. And before coming over to Jacksonville, his K per 9 back at Daytona State, 11.1. Really good.
Yeah, Daytona State has churned out quite a few good pitchers over the years that have come up here to Jacksonville and the North Florida programs.
This one a sharp grounder to second. This could be a double play. There's one, there's 2, and the double play turn for Jacksonville.
How about that? Kyle Richardson into the ballgame now at second base, having pinch run for McKenna, who pinch hit for Pacheco. And he got that one started, a ground ball right at him. That was a tailor-made double play ball. And coming cold off the bench, K-Rich slick with the glove, as always. How about another double play?
And the Dolphins have had a couple of those today, and now 2 down here in the top of the 8th. And it's it really is a pitcher's best friend, that double play. 1 out or 1 pitch and 2 outs quickly. Now they're going to show bunt here with Ryan Galaney at the plate. Dolphins looking for a sweep of the Terriers this weekend. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one hit him in the back. Galaney gets hit in the back and flips bat all the way near the Wofford dugout after that one. And so Graham, after a double play, turned, hits a batter with 2 outs.
Now pinch hitter here for Wofford.
7, Trey Younger.
Trey Younger coming in for Matty Brown in the 9 hole. Younger has started each of the previous 2 days and hit leadoff. He was DH'd on Friday, played second base on Saturday night.
Younger in this series, 2 for 6, had a 2 for 4 night on Friday.
Christian Graham still working on his control a little bit here. He's been inconsistent with the zone. Some of his strikes he's thrown have been very good. Other ones have just been, the ones that aren't very close.
This one fouled back first base side that time, off of the bat of Trey Younger, a pinch hitter now in for Matty Brown, the shortstop today in that 9-hole spot.
And Younger can play middle infield, so I would assume that either he stays in to play short or they move somebody else over there and he takes their spot.
Check swing, and he did, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. Now it'll be a 1-2. Graham trying to get out of this to get to the home half of the 8th inning for the Dolphins. They lead it 4-0 top half of the 8th. 2 outs, a runner at first, and a 1-2 count for Graham. Here's the pitch to Younger. This one, a breaking ball, misses the plate outside. And that'll even the count at 2-2. Dolphins head to Gainesville for their next series against the Gators. Meanwhile, Wofford will host Presbyterian at home on Tuesday. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on. This one gets through the gap between third base and shortstop, and there will be 2 on and 2 outs here for Wofford. A base hit off the bench for Trey Younger.
30, Nolan Hester.
And now Wofford getting exactly what they wanted. Get on base, and then they flip the lineup top with Nolan Hester.
Wofford hasn't even had a good scoring position until this point today.
Right.
I mean, that's how good Mason Adams was and the defense behind him. I mean, there was literally no chance for Wofford to create offensively.
Now a quick mound meeting between Corey Heffron and Dakota Jalila coming over, the 2 veterans on this team, especially Jalila, coming in to give Graham a few words before he delivers this next pitch. And he's got a situation here with, you got 2 outs, but runners at first and second, and it's still, it's a 4-0 ball game. It's a solid lead, but that can change in a hurry, especially with top of the lineup, Nolan Hester at the plate.
Graham just needs to settle down, execute here. You just need an out any way you can get it. That's the beauty of the 2 outs up there.
First pitch, that one looked like a strike, but just off the plate. A fastball on the outer half to a left-hand batter has not been very consistent in terms of the home plate umpire's strike zone today. Nolan Hester is 0 for 3 with a strikeout today. Here's the pitch. This one lifted into center field. It's going to get down. A run will score. I thought Jalila might have drawn a beat on that one into shallow center, but it got over his head and it drives in a run. And the game is now 4-1. The shutout broken by the Terriers. It's 4-1 Jacksonville.
And that's it for Christian Graham as here comes head coach Chris Hayes. Just not a whole lot on either of those last 2 hits. A little seeing eye single through the hole at short and then a blooper into shallow center field, but it's enough to get Wofford on the board and to bring the tying run to the plate. And with that, Coach Hayes has seen enough and makes a change. And Jacksonville going to a right-hander, and it is Sam Brunig checking in for the Dolphins. We'll step aside with 2 outs and 2 on. Here in the top of the 8th, and Wofford with their best shot at it in a 4-1 ball game. From Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Change here in the 8th inning for Jacksonville as the Wofford Terriers crack into the scoreboard here. 4-1 is our score, but we do have a pitching change. Sam Brunig is now into the game, Scott.
Replaces Christian Graham. Another guy from a Daytona Beach College, Embry-Riddle transfer, mid-year transfer. Embry-Riddle announced it was not playing baseball in this spring, and Brunig went looking for a new home and found one here in Jacksonville. And he's another guy who projects as a late-inning pitcher for this Jacksonville team who is still trying to figure out some of their back-end bullpen stuff. This is really this is only the second time all year that the Dolphins have been in a close game late ahead on the scoreboard. So not a whole lot of opportunities for people yet. He has pitched in 3 games this year, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs all earned, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks.
So Christian Graham out of the game after he pitched 2/3 of an inning through 23 pitches, 13 for strikes, gave up an earned run, 2 hits and a walk, and that was enough for Chris Hayes as he pulls him. And now we'll try to see what they can do with Brunig to come in with 2 outs and still runners at first and second. But Wofford now on the scoreboard. They've dented the scoreboard for the first time all day. And it's 4-1. But again, the tying run is at the plate right now. And you've got the top of their order here with Lawson Hill, the 2-hole hitter. And this is a dangerous spot for Jacksonville because Lawson Hill, the 2-hole hitter, is coming into today's action hitting over 400.
0 for 3 on the day. Runners at first and second. See what Brunig has here.
First pitch, a called strike.
You like to see that.
Yep, that's the way you want to start it. Davis and Dempsey would be next. Renwick would follow for Wofford. But they have 2 outs here in the 8th. Jacksonville just trying to get out of this inning, try to put out the fire. The 0-1. Here is the pitch. There's a strike. A pretty pitch put right over the inner half of the plate by Brunig. And it's 0-2 now. That's what you want to see. You want a guy to come in and throw strikes and just give your guys a chance.
Well, now he's put the pressure on Hill. Down 0-2 in the count.
Runners are 4-1 Jacksonville here in the 8th. The 0-2 with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back in the dugout side, first base side for Wofford. Just went into the netting above the Wofford dugout. Wofford, as we talked about before, loves to run the bases, but they don't have much of an opportunity here unless you're going to try to steal third. That's a tough proposition, but they got to try to get them as much as they can to try to get guys in scoring position. They've got runners at first and second. Hill is the batter with 2 strikes on him and 2 down. Dolphins lead at 4-1. Brunig now will step off for a moment and regather himself. I think he maybe changed up his pitch this time. He's adjusting the ball in his glove as he works from the stretch. Brunig, here's his 0-2. This one a bouncer to first. Coy Pell will just glove it and step on first. And that gets the Dolphins out of a big-time jam here in the 8th inning. The Terriers will strand 2, but they do get a run back. They score a run here in the top of the 8th, but we go now to the home half. Dolphins lead it 4-1, heading to the bottom of the 8th. And from Van Wagner, this is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Home half of the 8th inning for Jacksonville. The Dolphins trying to complete a sweep of the Wofford Terriers. They lead at 4-1. Wofford got their first run of the game back in the last half inning. But Jacksonville continues to lead it here. Quite a bit of a jam the Dolphins got into and finally getting out of it from the pitching of the Dolphins. As Brunig coming in to put out that fire shot.
Yeah, nice job by Sam Brunig out of the bullpen. He did what you were supposed to do. Comes in, throws a couple of strikes, gets ahead in the count, and then had a hitter off balance there. And Hill ends up with just a slow tapper to first. Coypel takes it easily. Sam did shave his mustache after his last outing, which I know was a little bit of a difficult one, so I don't know if that helped change the juju for him in a positive way.
Here is Jakota Jalila to the plate now for Jacksonville here in the home half of the 8th inning, as they will continue to see Radans. Dalton Radans continues to work in relief of Elliott Carney. Here's the pitch, swung on and lifted to right, but playable. And Nolan Hester comes in to make the play. A few defensive changes. Renderick will go over short, and Younger, who pitched hit a moment ago, moves over to second base. A few defensive changes for Wofford. And now we see Blake Delamalure.
He's had a nice day, both defensively and at the plate. Delamalure. I feel like a little bit of a broken record, but it is just, these freshmen are growing up fast for this Jacksonville team, and I think the sky can be the limit with their abilities if they can continue to produce.
Delamalure swings at the first pitch. This one into shallow right. Let's see if it stays fair. Giving chase is Hester, but it goes foul. Delamalure, 2 runs scored today of the 4 that Jacksonville has put on the board. Blake has scored 2 of them. He's stolen a base and gotten a base hit today. So he's done a lot of work today for the Dolphins.
We haven't seen a roster that has relied on this many freshmen in quite some time. So if they grow up quick and mature and get better, then you might be pretty good. If not, you hope that they develop for next year. But we're already seeing, as that pitch missed outside to make it 1-1, we're already seeing this group start to come together and show some real ability.
Radans, the sidewinder, delivers a pitch that'll roll all the way to the backstop. It got through Hill, the catcher. And now it'll be a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch to Delamalure, and this one fouled back. First base side and out of play. Dolphins, after starting the season very rough, 0-8, look to be on the cusp of a sweep this weekend if they can hang on to this lead and close things out. Here's the pitch from Radans. This one another pitch fouled back the first base side. But that's just something that you absolutely need. Coming off of a really tough start, to win 3 in a row potentially would be absolutely what Coach Chris Hayes would be looking for out of this weekend.
Yeah, and take a little momentum into what is undoubtedly going to be a tough series next weekend in Gainesville. You don't want to roll in to face off against a highly ranked Gators squad scuffling. You'd like to be playing some of your better baseball, and that's what Jacksonville will hopefully be doing.
There's the 2-2, swung on and swung through it. It's a strikeout for Delamalure, and he is down on strikes for out number 2.
Third baseman number 17, Jackson Grabsky.
Here is Grabsky with 2 down. That Florida team littered with talent from Jacksonville in the Jacksonville area. Jacob Young, their top leadoff man from the Ponte Vedra area. Nathan Hickey, their terrific DH and catcher, played high school baseball at Providence here in Jacksonville. Swung on, and this one lifted into left, coming on to try to make a diving catch. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. A terrific catch by Zeb Rose in left. And he has been diving and darting left and right all day long. And he comes up with a diving play in left and comes up a little bit shaky on that play. But what a heck of an effort by Rose. And that'll do it for Jacksonville in the bottom of the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. Dolphins lead at 4-1. from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network. Jacksonville looking to close out what would be a sweep of the Wofford Terriers if they can get 3 outs here in the ninth. And charged for that assignment is Sam Bruning. He's going to continue to work on for Jacksonville. He's in line, Scott, for the save of this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can finish things off after we got a big final out of the inning, stranding a couple of men on base in the 8th.
Center fielder number 2, Colin Davis.
And Jacksonville 3 outs away here. Facing off against 3, 4, and 5, though, in the Wofford lineup, but we know these Terriers won't go down without a fight.
It will be the center fielder, Colin Davis, who comes to the plate. Davis, the first hit of the game for Wofford. Davis, he got a hit earlier today against the Jacksonville starter, Mason Adams, who was just terrific. It was the first hit that he allowed and the only hit that he allowed through 7 innings.
Dave is working on his dissertation in between pitches. He has been deliberate, to put it kindly, getting into the box here today. Pondering the finer things in life.
He will look at Sam Bruning, who delivers the first pitch, a ball inside. A little bit of a different look and a delivery from Bruning. The mechanics are just a little bit different.
It got a little hitch in it. But, you know, all stuff like that affects the timing and can help make stuff seem a little deceptive.
It's a 1-1 count on the 3-hole hitter, Colin Davis. Stands in with a little bit of a wide stance from the right-hand side. The 1-1 from Bruning. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball, a nice one delivered over for a strike. And all Davis could do is look at that one and watch it go by for strike 2.
And then adjust his batting glove.
Now he adjusts his gloves and will
Get in there, Poppy.
take a look at the bat. And he is definitely a slow worker at the plate.
His head coach knows he's even got time to take a stretch down there at third base.
I'll run to the bathroom next time.
Yeah, they talk a lot of times about a pitch clock. I mean, there has to be something on the batter, too.
Batter clock,
Yeah, I mean,
well, they talked about like not letting guys get all the way out of the box, right? You're supposed to keep a foot in.
that should happen for sure. Here's the 1-2. I think he checked his swing.
Yep.
He held up 2-2 now. He's got the almost like the Nomar Garcia Parra.
Well, nobody quite that bad.
Got to check my gloves. He's not that level, but he's close. He might be a little bit close, but he stands in a big wide stance, puts his front foot near the chalk of the batter's box in the swinging from the right side. There's a breaking pitch, and he can stand a little longer and now take a walk to the dugout. After that pitch, a backwards strikeout, backwards K on a breaking ball for strike 3.
Sam Brunig has done a nice job, right? He's come in, he has attacked the zone, he's gotten ahead of hitters, and he's been able to work around his spots and done a really nice job finishing off hitters here, the first two he has faced.
Here is Dempsey, the first baseman. Dempsey is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout.
Takes first pitch outside for a ball. That's the first time we've seen a pitch miss to start.
Batting from that left-hand side, here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the Wofford dugout. John Dempsey's brother plays baseball as well, plays at Boston College. A family full of baseball.
All in the family, if you will.
Mm-hmm. He looks at a 1-1 from Sam Brunig on to try to save it for Jacksonville with a 4-1 lead. And this one off the glove of Heffron rolls to the Wofford dugout. Jacksonville on its way to Gainesville on Friday. A little bit of a break for the Dolphins as they wait for their next game, which will be on Friday against Florida at 6:30 in Gainesville, the brand new ballpark in Florida. There's a call down to third, and he checked his swing. It's 3-1 on Dempsey. One down here in the 9th inning. Jacksonville trying to hold on to a 4-1 lead and complete a series sweep of a team that came into this series 7-2 and would leave with 3 straight losses if Jacksonville can hold on. Here's the 3-1. This one I think hit him. Regardless, it's ball 4. If not, I think it did hit him. But they will put a runner at first now with one down, and one of those double plays that we've seen today would be nice for Jacksonville if they can get that in the ball game.
Be an emphatic way to end it.
Now we see Jack Renwick to the plate.
11.
Renwick was starting today at second, but moved over in a defensive switch to shortstop.
Runner is checked in, Shane
Lucier. 11, Shane Lucier.
Renwick, another guy who's 0 for 3 today. He's left a runner on base as well. As a runner at first, he bats now with one out here in the 9th inning. From the stretch, Brunig. He delivers the first pitch. This one bounced before it got to the plate. Didn't even reach the batter's box.
And Renwick holding his ground in there too as Heffron was scrambling to try and pick up that baseball that was lost in between his feet. And I thought that the pinch runner now in Lucier had a shot to get down to second if he wanted to.
From the stretch, here is Brunig. He delivers the 1-0. This one also, I think, bounced on the plate. It just inside and hit the dirt. Now it's 2-0. We haven't seen a stolen base attempt by Wofford today, but we know that they love to run. They've led the nation in stolen bases in 2014 and 2015. Coming into the game today, 21 steals in 10 games to start the season. Last year they had a terrific start in steals through 17 games. There's a strike delivered by Brunig. A strike when he needed to throw one for sure, because he had started he hit a batter a moment ago and then started the next batter with a 2-0 count as Renwick has a 2-1 count against him. Runner at first, one down here in the 9th. There's a ball that is over the head of Renwick, and now it's 3-1.
What a job by Corey Heffron on that pitch that slipped out of the hand of Brunig to leap up and snag it and keep it from going to the backstop, which would have definitely moved the runner into scoring position. Brunig's got to buckle down here to avoid bringing the tying run to the plate.
Brunig has been throwing strikes, but he's got a little bit erratic in the last few moments. Now he looks at a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. This low and away, ball 4. So this is a dangerous spot for Jacksonville. Brunig has 1 out, but he's got runners at first and second.
Left fielder number 49,
And we've seen
Seth
a
Rose.
situation. This is kind of what got Christian Graham out of the ball game earlier.
Right, Brunig all of a sudden, after he starts off ahead of a hitter in the 8th and gets him to ground out an 0-2, then strikes out Colin Davis to start this inning, hits a batter on a 3-1 pitch, walks a batter on a 3-1 pitch, and head coach Chris Hayes headed to go talk to Brunig. And a pitching change here with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 9th. So Jacksonville, with the tying run coming to the plate, goes to the bullpen for a 3rd time here today. Step aside from Van Wagner. This is the Jacksonville Dolphins Sports Network.
Pitching change in for Jacksonville. The 3rd pitcher of the day is going to be Avery Love. Scott coming in relief.
Avery Love, who has been a strikeout machine so far this season for Jacksonville. He started 2 Sundays ago. He has pitched in relief 2 times since then. He has struck out 12 in 7 1/3. He's allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. Has walked 3. Opponents hitting just 179 off of the redshirt freshman right-hander from Yulee High School.
Jacksonville area products, Avery Love, Yulee area. He tries to come in and save it for Jacksonville. It's another situation where the Terriers have base runners on at first and second. And boy, a quick double play would be just terrific for the Dolphins if they can get it. We'll see what happens with Avery Love. And again, Brunig couldn't really get out of the jam that he was charged to try to deliver. And, Chris Hayes not being too patient with him and able to put Avery Love back in the game for the Dolphins. Runners at first and second. Here's the first pitch from Love, and this one low and away to Zeb Rose, the Terriers left fielder at the plate.
He walked an inning ago. His lone time on base was cut down as part of a double play. Represents the tying run right now for Wofford in the top of the 9th.
Love works from the stretch. He's got a 1-0 count against Rose. He looks back to second a couple times. Now will deliver, and they're going to call time. I guess Rose stepped out on him.
Yep, called time that 3rd time that Love looked back to second base. And, I like to see Avery just he soft tossed it in there, but finished the motion.
Yeah.
Never like to see guys like try and hold up or hold on to the baseball or weird things like that.
Definitely could cause an injury. Here's the pitch from Love. This one fouled straight back. And Love's just going to go chase it down. The ricochet off the backstop rolled back into the field of play between first base and the pitcher's mound, and Love went to retrieve it. Now throws it back to get a new ball.
Started off with a slider and missed, and then comes in with a fastball. He's got good stuff on his fastball. Low to mid, a guy that projects to maybe work up to the mid-90s there. But he just went in with a heater there, and Rose unable to catch up.
Here's the 1-1 from Love. There's a breaking ball called for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Really nice job there by Love again. Missed a way to start, comes inside twice, but two different pitches. And that's important. Keep a guy off balance, and now he's back in control of the count.
Zeb Rose, the right-hander, looks at a 1-2 count. Here is the pitch. This one low and inside, and now evens the count at 2-2.
Nice pitch there again from Love, and just a better job by Rose to lay off of it.
Rose being patient in this at-bat as he just tries to get a good look at Love, who just got into the ball game in relief of Brunig. The 2-2. Swung through it and struck him out for out number 2.
I thought he was going to the fastball there, but he fooled everybody, including myself. Another breaking ball in the inner half, and a really nice one that Rose was well out in front of.
Dolphins 1 out away from a series sweep of the Wofford Terriers, and now we'll see Brennan Dorighi, the DH.
Dorighi 0 for 3 today. Struck out, has flown out, and has hit into a double play.
Runners at first and second. Here's the first pitch from Love to Dorighi. On its way from the stretch. That one looked like a strike, maybe low, I guess. It would be the first series win of the season for Jacksonville and a 3-game winning streak if they can cap this thing off. There's a strike called in the outside corner.
Did you bring your broom today?
I gotta go grab one, man. We need one. The Dolphins need one in a big way. Love from the stretch with a runner at first and second. Here's a ground ball through the left side. It gets through the third base and shortstop. A run will score, and now it's 4-2. It's an RBI single by Dorighi. His first hit of the game brings home the second run of the game for Wofford, and it's 4-2 Jacksonville. But the Dolphins do have 2 outs. A run does score, but Jacksonville can continue to just maybe get 1 out, hopefully, and get out of this game.
Pinch running for Dorighi, number 45, Harris Beckley.
Harris Beckley into pinch run for Dorighi. Ryan Galaney up. Still just 1 out away. I mean, nothing changes here. Just execute.
Galaney has scored a run today, but he's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. They're going to try to steal third. Here's the throw down, and he's going to be safe. Stolen base from second to third for Wofford, and now they put runners at first and third.
Harris Beckley may have missed a sign there.
Yeah, I thought maybe a double steal was put on.
That doesn't make much sense to just steal third because the tying run is the man at first. So I think he missed something on that play, and so that's important in the fact that the tying run remains at first base in this situation as opposed to in scoring position, and that pitch was in for a strike.
Galaney at the plate with runners at first and third, but 2 outs. There's a strike called. A good pitch that time by Love.
Went to the slider, really well executed, and now if you're Avery Love You've got 2 strikes. You don't have to do too much. Put something near the zone, but not all that hittable. See if you can get Galaney to chase.
An 0-2 count coming from Love. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. This one high and outside.
Maybe a little closer to the zone. That one not all that tantalizing for Galaney.
Run is scored in this game in the 9th, but it's still 4-2. Jacksonville leads with 2 outs, runners at first and third. Ryan Galaney hitting 100 coming into today's action, and he's not had a hit today, 0 for 2. He looks at a 1-2 count from Love. Love from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on. This one is foul down the left field line. If that one had been fair, it would have been trouble for the Dolphins.
Runner on the move on that one as well. Beckley took off on the pitch. And a little bit of a hanger on that breaking ball, and Galaney does a nice job to slow the bat speed down and just not quite down far enough. Still out in front.
Avery Love, the redshirt freshman from Callahan, Florida, trying to save it for Jacksonville. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and struck him out. Avery Love strikes him out, and that is the ball game. Jacksonville has swept the Wofford Terriers. A 3-game sweep. Your final score, Jacksonville 4 and Wofford 2.
A lot of big opportunities for Jacksonville players this weekend to experience and produce in big spots. And for the most part, we saw a whole host of Dolphins produce in big spots throughout the course of the weekend. You don't sweep a quality team. You don't sweep any team, and you especially don't sweep a quality team unless you're executing, and that's what Jacksonville did throughout the weekend.
Jacksonville won Friday's game 8-2, Saturday 8-1, and the Sunday finale 4-2, a 3-game sweep. The Dolphins have won 3 in a row, and they won their first series of the year. Jacksonville's record now 3-8 as they continue to move forward here into March, and they will play the Florida Gators coming up on Friday at 6:30 in Gainesville. Scott.
Big time performance this weekend. Hopefully it can carry on going forward next weekend against Florida. This broadcast has been authorized under rights granted by Jacksonville University to Van Wagner. The accounts and descriptions of this broadcast may not be retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Van Wagner and Jacksonville University Athletics. The executive producer is Ashton Golson. Special thanks to the JU Athletics Communications Office for their help. I'm Scott Manzi alongside Andrew Gibson, saying so long from John Sessions Stadium. Your final score today, Jacksonville 4, Wofford 2, and I see some brooms down in the Jacksonville dugout celebrating the sweep here this weekend. Next broadcast is next Friday when Jacksonville plays at 6:30 at Florida. This has been a presentation of Jacksonville University Athletics.